I'm listening to the recording of Shoma pronounce her name.
It's
Okay.
yeah, the Zoom looks good with so many people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
It's a party today. So lovely. So many people together.
Is Jacinta coming?
Not yet, but not yet. But she is coming.
Okay.
Okay, now we are in YouTube.
Okay.
Cool.
You
I'm
share the
sending
link.
Videos.
Yeah, I'm sending every link to others.
It's interesting to see how the number of subscribers in Bioingene is rising. I just saw 5.5 thousand yesterday, and now it's 5,600.
So there are people who are very much interested on this particular topic. Even I got request and from my university where I was teaching. So they are link to their student. They want to share it with their students, and they have asked their students, master students, to attend this specifically. So I hope we'll be having a good audience today coming up.
That's great.
I'm sorry that I likely cannot pronounce any of your names well. But Vasudev, how do you say your name?
Okay.
Yes. In short, it's Bashu. Yeah.
Bashu. How's the weather down in San Diego?
Oh no, I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh,
LA.
is it still smoky there?
No, it's quite hot actually.
Yeah.
And this weekend it's going to be hotter. I think it's going to be 115.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
supposed to be 105 in Davis, and we still have a lot of smoke.
Oh my
from
God.
the fires. Yeah.
Yeah. West LA didn't get that much of smoke. Yeah, at least I live very close to UCLA, and yeah, here I hear we didn't get that much of smoke.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, in Davis you can see the Sierra Nevada mountain range, but with pollution and things you usually can't see it, but you can always see the coastal range. And right now you can't see, maybe you can see for like a quarter of a mile, and that's it. And the smoke is so bad that you can't see past it. So
It's
it's not good. I have a friend from college who is a wildland firefighter, and he got deployed down to the greater Los Angeles area and was fighting fires down there.
Yeah, and it's tough for them. I was listening on NPR that they're already facing, like, there's a COVID-19 problem, and they are out there, and it's tough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of California wildfires are fought by prison labor.
Oh.
And they cannot allow prisoners to fight fires right now because of COVID. And so as a state, we're finding that we should stop using prison labor to fight fires. So
I don't know. I heard that Gavin Newsom, he was asking help from Canada and Australia. Did he receive it or not? I have no idea.
Well,
Just some things I can see on YouTube.
I introduce Madhumanti to
Just-
Liberty.
Sorry.
I'm
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Hello, Liberty.
Yeah.
Just joined from my.
So you know all the panelists today. Some new faces for you, right?
Yeah.
There's Madhumanti. Hi, Madhumanti.
Hi. Hi.
Let me
Hi.
introduce you to Liberty.
Please. Yeah.
You are both doing your PhDs. So both PhD scholars, different universities though. She's in
Yeah.
Madhumanti is in
I'm at
linguist.
USC, so I'm
Yeah.
in Los Angeles as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I should have included you in that smoke conversation that we had.
Oh, no, I should have included myself.
Yeah, I'm up near Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah.
then we
What
have-
is your, are you in a PhD, like a breeding program?
I'm okay. I think I'm the only non-biologist here, so I do
Okay.
linguistics and at USC. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I'm glad that you're here for this particular seminar then.
yeah, she's completely from a different field.
Oh, it's perfect though.
But
No,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, so for today's panel, it's absolutely perfect, you know.
Yeah.
So, because it's for everybody, for all the fields,
yeah.
and for different levels in academia. So it's great. It's perfect panel.
I really like to watch the chat box. It's so fascinating with all the people just,
Yeah. So many.
Can you pass me the remote, please?
Hot in California.
It's warm, but since we cannot use the fan because it of the
Yeah.
you know
Sound. Yeah.
yeah, so we use the AC. Otherwise, it's bearable.
How is the weather in Florida, Yogesh?
It was raining. It was raining
Oh,
actually.
yeah, you said.
Just intermittently off and on, and so I don't know. So there was a tornado call as well. So I don't know how it's gonna be. So Florida weather is quite unpredictable because of this, beaches and like condensation evaporation effect. So we have rain a lot during the summer.
I feel like here I miss the rain in Los Angeles.
Me too. Me too. I miss rain like anything.
Yeah.
I don't miss snow and rain in my life now. I'm done with snow and rain. Maybe more mountain, so maybe next to California.
Yeah. Sunny, always sunny.
Yeah, too sunny at times. Oh my God, it's scorching.
it's too sunny now with all the dry
Yeah.
everything. My lab mate has a herbicide trial with grapes, and so we went out to help him harvest grapes. And it's just dust. There's dust on the leaves, there's dust on the grapes, there's dust on your face. Like it's just, and you can't escape it because it's so
So what are you
dry.
working with grapes? What are you working on with grapes? Because we are also conducting one experiment with like transcriptomics of grape variety.
So I'm a weed scientist. I'm doing my PhD in horticulture and agronomy, and so our program is very applied. So I actually do more biology, ecology research, but my lab mates do more traditional American weed science research, which is mostly with herbicides.
Okay.
So we just went out to help him harvest because he probably has a quarter of an acre, an eighth of a hectare that he has to harvest. So it was probably just looking to see if the herbicide was damaging the leaves or the fruit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
not actually special or very interesting, to be honest.
You know,
What kind
it's-
of grape? Sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just interested in the grapes in Florida because
So,
I've never.
so we're working with muscadine variety.
Oh yeah, okay.
Muscadine. So there are two different cultivars, Carlos and Nobel. So we're trying to, understand different developmental stages. So we harvest directly from the field, research station at University of Florida. So trying to understand those developmental stages, those key factors. So we are trying to understand the post-harvest biology of grapes, basically.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Directly.
For which part of the post-harvest process, like storage before
Storage,
before
post-harvest.
fermentation?
Once you harvest them from the field, so maybe different time scale experiments. How you can.
Yeah.
What are the key factors involved in the senescence? Because you store them for a different period of time. So sometimes the temperature affects the senescence, affects their shelf life. So we're trying to see, through the genomics, RNA sequencing approach, finding
And
out some.
probably that Florida humidity also affects the grapes.
Yeah, it's a lot of humid here.
Yeah. Do they grow grapes mostly in the Panhandle part of Florida, or like up near?
It's
Georgia?
more because I'm living in the central Florida.
Okay.
So we directly picked it up because I don't know what part of Florida, we have grapes all over, or but we have our research station spread over like 2,000 acre. So different crops. So we just directly picked up from the research station.
Sorry to interrupt. Someone on YouTube wrote that there's no audio and video. Is it our problem or it's their problem?
No, our problem here.
Okay.
It's not our problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have our
Right.
When I go to YouTube, I can hear the video. So I think it's maybe their problem.
Okay, we can start now because it's I'm done. I'm sharing everything. I mailed YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Should I say? Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Today we have a webinar on slightly different topic, but most important topic in our life, researcher life, students' life. It's a soft skill. We feel that this topic is such important that we should have included in our platform to benefit so many people. Those are attached by Bioingene last 16 webinar. Today we have a panel discussion and a webinar, and I'm assure you it's going to be long. It's 2 hours. I think it's getting at least take at least 2 hours. So I request all the participants be patient. We give you the extra time to fill the forms. We give the forms after the webinar and before the question answer round. So I'm request all of you don't ask repeatedly for the form because we have to collect the questions, and sometimes we miss the vital questions due to the asking of the password and the link. I'm also wanted to request all the viewers who have already start to watching this webinar that if someone annoyingly asks the link, please you can comment on that sometime I missed to do the comment. You can also comment that it will come soon, because after 12 p.m. there are a lot of people are joining for these purposes. So it's okay. I request today we have many people. I'm not going to introduce each and every one because we have a separate session for that. Soma will introduce all the panelists. Liberty from UC Davis introduce Bioingene and our speaker. Please, Liberty.
Thank you, Shavo. Hello, everyone. Today is our 17th webinar of the series. I welcome you all to today's event organized by Bioingene. Bioingene is a nonprofit organization created to promote plant research worldwide. Today is a very special event, as Shiva mentioned, because we are not going to discuss plant science research, but rather we will discuss the efforts and skills that are needed to become a good researcher or a successful professional. For today's webinar, we have received a huge response of over 4,000 registrations. We welcome all the viewers and thank them for their interest in Bioingene. As was previously mentioned, you can apply for a certificate of participation via the feedback link and password, which will be provided after the presentation. Submission of the feedback form is mandatory in order to receive the certificate. The feedback link will be provided in the YouTube chat box by the host. Please be patient. You will get ample time to fill and submit your feedback form. Please collect your participation certificates at 2 days from our webinar. Please visit our website to register for upcoming webinars, and you can connect with Bioingene on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Today's event comprises a panel discussion followed by a webinar talk on the topic, the importance of soft skills in academia. Our webinar speaker today is Dr. Kankana Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal is a researcher, educator, and a former lecturer at UCLA. She completed her Ph.D. from the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, followed by postdoctoral training at the University of Southern California, Los Angeles in the United States. During her research career, she presented her research work at several conferences and professional meetings and has several publications in peer-reviewed international journals. She has always enjoyed teaching. However, during her postdoctoral research, while mentoring her undergrad students, she realized her passion for teaching and decided to dive deep into the teaching world. To follow her passion, she received extensive training from the University of California, Los Angeles, and the Los Angeles Community College District in the United States, which includes earning a prestigious Project Match Aspire to Teach internship. She carried on her training by becoming a scientific teaching fellow of Summer Institutes of Yale Center for Teaching and Learning and Center for Integration of Research, Teaching and Learning in the United States by demonstrating her commitment to undergraduate education. As a lecturer at UCLA, she taught a course called Introduction to Collaborative Learning Theory and Practice. She also taught microbiology as a guest lecturer at UCLA and Los Angeles Mission College. Apart from this, she has been leading, facilitating, and participating in several workshops in the USA and Canada on research-based teaching practices to advance students' learning and career development. She has expertise in teaching soft skills, such as skills and strategies related to collaboration, communication, group dynamics, and team building, learner's mindset, students' motivation, and mental well-being. Her mission is to impart education in a holistic way using research-based learning and teaching methods. Her vision is to prepare her students as a lifelong learner to be successful in college and beyond. Before the webinar, there is a short panel discussion on the importance of soft skills. The moderator for today's panel discussion is Shoma Roy Majumdar. Shoma is the founder and teacher at iqeducation.in. Her mission is to make education simple and easily accessible to her students. After she completed her MSc and MTech in biotechnology, she has been mentoring graduate and postgraduate students of biosciences. Now I request Shoma to start the panel discussion. Over to you, Shoma.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Finally, the day has arrived. I'm so excited for today's event. To build a successful career, we require many qualities of soft skills. We learn some of them from our home and school, and we unknowingly use them in our everyday life, and we eventually get good at it. However, when we start building our professional career, we need to become more independent, and at the same time, we start facing new challenges. We feel the need to develop new skills to address these new problems, and for that, we must learn them to be successful. Today, we have arranged a panel discussion where professionals at different stages of their career have joined us to share their real life experiences and discuss how soft skills helped them to build a successful career. Let me introduce our panelists. I'll start with Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr. Neha Sharma worked as a volunteer researcher at the Western Sydney University, Australia. She did her PhD in the International Center of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, or known as ICGEB, New Delhi. She did her master's in biotechnology, Department of Biotechnology, Central University, Bilaspur, where she also worked as a guest lecturer for a couple of years. She is also an active team member of Bioingene. Next, next panelist is Madhumanti Datta. She is currently a fifth year PhD student at the University of Southern California, USA. Ms. Datta has completed her bachelor's from the University of Calcutta and her master's and MPhil from the University of Delhi. She has taken classes on teaching and research training as part of her PhD coursework at USC and also worked as a teaching assistant for undergraduate courses for the last 3 years, which provided her with experience in interacting with undergraduate students from diverse backgrounds. Our next panelist is Dr. Shubhabrata Majumdar. Dr. Majumdar is a DBT postdoctoral researcher associated at the University of Calcutta, India. He completed his BSc honors and MSc in biotechnology. He is a molecular breeder of fiber crops and a trained professional in rice research from Erie, Philippines. He is also the founder of this platform, Bioingene. Our next panelist is Dr. Basudeb Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal is a postdoctoral fellow in the University of California, Los Angeles. Dr. Ghoshal has completed his PhD from the University of British Columbia, Canada. Besides his research, Dr. Ghoshal is actively involved in undergraduate teaching and learning at the University of California, Los Angeles. He serves as a reviewer in several undergraduate research fellowship committees. Our next panelist is Dr. Yogesh Ahlawat. Dr. Ahlawat is a biological scientist at the University of Florida, USA. He works on plant cell wall modification for biofuel production. He did his PhD from the Michigan Technological University, USA, and his master's in biotechnology from Jamia Millia Islamia Central University, India. I welcome all the panelists. Thank you for being here today. This panel is now open for discussion with a common question to all the panelists. My question is, can you share a challenge of your academic life that you thought was due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it? I'll go first to Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr. Sharma, what do you have to
Thank
say
you.
regarding this?
Thank you, Shoma, for such a wonderful welcome for all of us. So, not taking much time, I would say that every PhD comes with some kind of stress. And yes, I was no exception. And I got a lot of stress in the initial years of my PhD. First reason was I was coming from a small town. I had to shift to New Delhi, and it was a shifting for a long term period. And then it was the first time I left my home. Before that, I never left my home. I did my master's, graduation, everything sitting at my home. So it was the first time I was coming out of my comfort zone, and I was all on my own, everything. So there was homesickness. So it created a kind of marathon in my mind that what is happening. Plus, there was a pressure of a new environment in research. So we were not that much trained during MSc how to do research and how the lab environment is. So it was a lot of juggle between personal and professional life, and everything I had to do on my own. So this created a lot of stress. Plus, in the duration, I also lost my father, and it was a big toll on my personal life, and it clearly reflected on my professional life. So, it was so difficult for me to cope up with so many things in such less time that yes, it really affected my work. It lead to lack of focus. I was not able to produce good results, and then I saw like nothing was working as such during my initial years of PhD. But then slowly I realized that I have to get accustomed to things. I have to realize that the things will go like this and I have to cope up. No one will come up to me. I have to go and I have to settle myself in the new environment. And I would say in this journey, my lab was quite supportive where I was working. The I would say it was a no politics lab, and it really helped me. Everyone was very helpful. My seniors, my PI, everyone really helped me a lot to come out of this depressing phase of my life. And then yes, it once I came out of this this juggle between emotional stress and professional stress, I was then able to produce good results. And that I'm happy to share that yes, this also led me to a patent. As soon as I got into uh, working in a very focused manner, yes, I was able to do that with the help of all my friends. And I would say, yes, if you have somebody during your PhD journey with whom you can share your day activities, I would say a best friend or few good friends, then it is really helpful to get out of this situation. Because in most of the time in PhD, your parents may not understand. I know students may face this thing, that whatever they are working in science, they are not able to explain it to their parents. At least they can share it with their subordinates, their colleagues, their seniors, their friends who are working in other labs, and then they can know that yeah, they can also be in some kind of situation they are facing. So once you come out of stress, you become a more resilient, a more determined and more dedicated person. And this I was able I noticed in myself. When I was able to manage my stress in a positive manner, I was able to produce effectively. And that has helped me not only in finishing my PhD, but yes, afterwards also. Now also, I'm able to do good. I think so.
Amazing. Lovely to hear from you about stress management. I'll next speak to Ms. Datta. Um, Ms. Datta, what do you have to say about a challenge that you faced in your academic life and which you faced due to lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, thank you very much. I think talking about challenge, what I would like to talk about is time management. So that is, I think, that was a challenge for me in the initial years of my PhD, at least. And that the reason for that was, so before I came to the United States for my PhD, I did my master's and MPhil in India, and I was living in a university hostel sort of setup. So there was a kitchen, food would be provided, there would be people to take care of the cleaning. So basically I was dealing with my project and I had the entire day for myself. That is all I was doing. When I moved here, of course, I had to take care of myself. I had to take care of everything from groceries to cooking and cleaning. But more importantly, I also had to deal with many different things at work. So from the second year, I started TAing. So I started being a teaching assistant. So I had to take coursework. I was taking like 4 courses per semester. Like the first 2 years, we took almost 4 courses per semester. So I was taking 4 courses per semester. I was a teaching assistant from the second year onwards. So I was also attending those classes for which I was a TA. I was preparing for my teaching, and then I was also writing my own research paper. So there were all of these things that I had to take care of, along with taking care of the household. And I found myself a little overwhelmed. And I sort of realized that while it's extremely important to work hard, it is equally important to work smart. And that is the key to being able to make maximal use of the time that you have to produce quality work, and also to maintain a good work-life balance. And so because you could be spending 10 hours working on something in a disorganized manner, but it's probably possible to get that done in 7 hours if you do it in a properly organized manner. And then you also have 3 more hours to spend on the other commitments that you have.
So true.
So I think what I tried doing was, so I started like sort of making proper schedules and calendars on a week by week basis. So what are the deadlines that I have on this particular week? How many hours do I want to spend on each particular thing? And I started making like proper calendars such that, okay, so Monday, these are the things that I want to do. And the calendar also had to be sort of realistic. So it shouldn't be something like I'm going to work for 20 hours. No. So I tried to come up with sort of realistic, attainable sort of schedules where I would have like, I would be like, okay, I'll be working on this particular thing for 4 hours, and then I'll be taking a 1 hour break, and then I'll be working on that other thing for this many hours. And it requires a lot of practice, but I think that did help me. So I failed a number of times, but gradually I think I got better and I did not feel as overwhelmed anymore. So I would say that even if you're in a situation where you do not absolutely need to work in a very time-bound manner or maintain a calendar, I think it's very good to be doing that just to get into the practice of doing that. And that always becomes handy in your research life, and I would say maybe even more in professional life later on, because I feel that my professor needs to have better time management than maybe I need to. So, because things always keep adding up, and it's very important to have good time management skills.
All right. It was wonderful to hear from you about time management. I'll next move on to Dr. Mojumdar. Dr. Mojumdar, the same question. What were the challenges that you faced in your academic life that you thought were due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome them?
Thanks, Shoma. For the soft skill, there is lot of things. I think I have to learn a lot of things in the soft skill. That is the one reason that it's my interest to start this type of educational and educational sort of webinar. In my PhD life, or in my life, I faced the problem of scientific writing. I'm a former non-English medium school, and when I entered in my PhD, I realized that writing in English not enough, because we need another level of writing that is called academic writing, and I have no idea about that before my master's and graduation. So how to write academic writing, like a manuscript, like a review paper in an international journal. So when I start my work, I'm not aware that it is one such a big problem going to be faced by, I think it's faced by many and all of the researchers in certain point of life. So it's important as we work in a lab, it's same important, we have to write good paper in good writing skill. So my challenges is how to learn the academic writing and how to write a good paper. So I faced this challenge. I realized that it can be achievable, because it's just need a right education, right training and practice. So I looking for the such thing, and I found most of all international journals have their website, and they have the guideline to how to write. And I watch so many videos of scientists. Those have a 500, 1,000, even 5,000 papers. So I learned from that, but I still realize that I need to learn more. But I'm happy to share that due to this learning process, I have 4 first author manuscripts, and all are the greater than 4 impact factor, which is greater than 10 NAS rating. So I think I try to realize this fact very early. I suggest all of you that if you're not aware this is a good soft skill, you have to learn it. So it's my struggle.
Thank you, Dr. Mojumdar. That was very insightful. I'm sure many would relate with you. I'm moving on to Dr. Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal, my question to you is the same. That what was the challenge that you faced in your academic life due to lack of soft skills, and how you overcame them? Dr. Ghoshal, are you there?
Hi. Sorry, I was
Hi.
on mute. Yeah, I was on mute.
Okay, then no problem.
Thank you, Shoma, first of all, for the nice introduction. So the problem that I'm going to talk about was mostly, I would say, I didn't knew that it was a problem, like it was a soft skill problem at the very beginning. So that's mostly, later on, I came to know that that's called emotional intelligence and empathy. So basically what it means is that how I can manage my emotions in a positive way. So for example, as an undergrad, when somebody would tell me something, like my friends or my seniors, and something not so serious, but it might make you feel bad. And then I will be super serious. It will affect my studies as an undergrad, and I will not do good. I will not be able to focus on my studies. And then later on, during my master's, also, I had the same issue. And as a PhD student, and as you have already heard it, during PhD, you have a lot of stress. And in that time, when someone else also tells you something, including your peers, your seniors, I felt that, oh my God, everybody is just telling me something bad and something nasty. Is it me? What am I doing wrong? And it will basically make me feel like I will lose time. I will keep thinking about it rather than getting focused on my studies. And so that was a big challenge for me. And later on, I realized at the different institutes where I did my PhD, also during my postdoc, I took soft skill trainings where I came to know about this term called emotional intelligence and empathy. And there I started learning about it. I won't say that I'm still good at it. Some things do affect me, but I started learning how can I manage my emotions. So if someone tells me something bad, then I would not take it so seriously always. I will think about it. For example, sometimes it's just the person is telling me something bad because he probably is having a bad day, and he would just tell me because of this bad condition he's going through, and I will think that, oh, he is just bad towards me, but that's not the case. So while taking this soft skill training courses, what I learned is that now I try to focus on two things when I mix with others or when I'm going through this kind of issues. Because when suppose you're in a PhD lab and you have time pressure, you are if you're in a different country, that's another issue. And among that, if someone else tells you something bad, then you really feel like depressed. So now when someone tells me like this, I follow two things. I try to follow two rules. One is that I try to focus on why am I here. So I try to basically think, okay, what am I doing? What is my main purpose here? Why I try to be more professional, I would say. And then the next thing I try to do is I try to give the other person a benefit of doubt. So in India, as you all know, that we all love cricket. And in cricket, there's a term called benefit of doubt that's mostly given to the batsman if he is out. And basically what it means that if you are not sure why this person is dealing with you like it, you think maybe this person is not having a bad day, is having a bad day. And then you think, okay, maybe the other day he will be fine with me. And I have found that it has worked with me. And now I can handle this kind of issues a lot. And so it's not as a specific thing I feel, but it has helped me to focus on whatever I do. So that is something I was lacking, and I'm still trying to get better at it, and hopefully one day I will. Yeah, and so that is how I overcome. Yeah, thanks.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful to hear from you about emotional intelligence and empathy. It's a very important soft skill. Okay, I'll now move on to Dr. Ahlawat. Hello, Dr. Ahlawat. My question is the same. What type of challenges did you face in your academic life that was due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it?
All right. Thanks so much for the nice introduction and having me over. And I've had a great time listening to these wonderful speakers, and what I felt was like we all have we have these soft skills somewhere in our life, but it just is important to recognize those during the course of our life and during the struggle, and pretty much like, since everybody has spoken about time management, stress management, empathy, writing skills and all that, so pretty much I think that determines your mindset. And I would say the mindset of a person defines your attitude towards any challenges or a problem that come across during, even your family, or even in your daily professional life or a personal life. So mindset, the growth mindset is very important. And somewhere I feel like everybody has a mindset which is either static or a dynamic mindset. If you are looking for a long-term goals, like I would say, I never like had a problem without having the skill set, because I was still able to survive within the deadlines and within the requirements of my work or in my professional or personal life. So I think somewhere it is important, if you want to expand your horizons and grow more and on a larger scale, it is important to have a dynamic mindset, like which explains your growth. So I have some key attributes that I always look up to, especially about this growth mindset. Like not having a plan B in life is very important, because you always rely and go back or lean back on the plan B, which and sometimes that actually somewhere you loses the hold on the plan A. So that's more important. Second is more important, I feel like work within the deadlines. I feel like when you have some, like I personally work great, I work efficiently when I have deadlines approaching my way, because I think somewhere human beings, we tend to procrastinate to some extent, depending on how efficiently we prioritize things. So that's one thing I feel like. And again, how you take the challenges. If you take the challenges as problems, you might not excel in life. Or if you take the challenges as opportunities, because every challenges in your life, I think, help you grow, because you might not know your potential, but when these challenges come across your life, you definitely try to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone, which is very important. Because within that comfort zone, I feel like and not taking risk, because somewhere I feel like research drives risk in the research, or even in the personal life, taking some risk, it drives innovation, it drives something new in our life. And because I had like a couple of examples which really drives me crazy, like when I hear about like Thomas Edison has like 1,000 failed experiment, and 1,001 was the light bulb. Same way, like Michael Jordan, who was a famous basketball player, he had like 9,000 missing shots, and he, those missing shots help him become the most successful basket player in the world right now. So I think if you be more continuous in your efforts, that is more important. Another thing I feel like if again, those mindsets, how you take those challenges, I think it depends from person to person. So especially like I said, I don't listen to no sayers, even if like if I give myself certain deadlines, certain like limits, or so I'm a strong critic. I'm a strong critic of myself. So something, if you be your own critic and you can criticize yourself, and what you are, what your potentials are, so basically I think that definitely drives your growth. And that's something. So it just go out of your comfort zone and do something great. And I think give yourself some deadlines. So those are some of the factors I would say are very important in order to encompass all those skill set, because we all have it. It is important to just recognize those skills. So that's all from my side.
Oh, lovely to hear from you about growth mindset. It's really important. We have heard from our panelists that they have faced many problems and struggled to overcome them, as they lacked some soft skills required to address these challenges. As I have said earlier, we start our career with some soft skills which we carry along from our home or school education. Let's discuss those skills with our panelists. Okay, so the next question for this panel discussion is, can you talk about the soft skills that you already possessed that helped you make your life easier when you started your career or professional life? So I will start with Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr.
Thank
Sharma,
you. Thank you
yes.
so much. So this is a very important question, and I would say in every journey there is one soft skill that you face challenge that would be the major one, and the second soft skill can help you
Hmm.
come out of that challenge. So for
Lovely. Yeah.
me, it was communication.
Hmm.
So I was good at English always, so it was easier for me. I would say I say English is not everything, but yes, to some extent it helped me a lot in communicating with all unrelated people I met in my new journey as a PhD student. And I would say your way of speaking and greeting to others, you know, that shows your confidence, and that helps you to connect with them. And once you're able to say hello, hi, and then you can go on with the conversation. If you are able to break that first hello with someone, then yes, it really helped me a lot. And second, because we are talking about scientific academia today, I would like to point out, which I felt a lot during my PhD, was presenting your work. That was one main thing that I realized, that you can do hours and hours of research, but if you're not able to communicate, or if you're not able to present it effectively to the audience, or if you're not able to catch their attention, I think it is not good. And once you're able to catch their attention, you can tell what you have done, half the battle is won.
Right.
So that will help you make more networks, more collaborations, and everything. So communication is one thing that I think has greatly helped me all during my PhD, and now also, I would say. And it is something I would say that yes, people, if they don't have, they should develop it, because fluency and way of presentation are imperative to a successful career, even if it is science or a non-science career. It is really important. So
Yes,
that
so
is my
true.
take on it.
Yes, yes, definitely love. Very, very nicely said, Dr. Sharma. Okay, I'll move on to Ms. Datta. Hello, Ms. Datta. The same question. We all have some soft skills, but which take us ahead in our lives. So, what was yours?
Okay, so something that I think is part of every researcher's life, every PhD student's life is stress, dealing with stress. And I think some stress management skills have sort of helped me. I would like to talk about maybe like a couple different things. One thing is having a lot of patience and perseverance. So that is about the mindset, because research, when we are doing research, when we are doing PhD, we are really dealing with long-term goals. Sometimes we are working on a project for 6 months. So there's one problem that you're trying to solve for, let's say, and that's taking 2 months. Or maybe there is one piece of problematic data that you can't account for, and then you need to like keep trying and keep reading for 2 months in order to be able to make sense of that. And that often creates a sense of fatigue, often overwhelms people, and makes people feel demotivated. And so I think it is very important to sort of understand, and as my professor once told me, that if all the problems were solved in a go, then that would be so boring. It is exciting only because not everything is solved, and there's always like new problems to think about, and that is what is exciting about this. So I think it is important to realize that it is not about you. So I think I always try to have that sort of a mindset, and tell myself that okay, this is not about me. It's not like this is not working. It will work. So when you are going through those 2 months when you're trying to solve a problem, it is normal to feel that, oh my god, this is not working. But it is also important to wake up the next day feeling motivated and excited about solving that problem again, and it is really worth it, because when it actually works out, there's a lot of happiness that is associated with it. We just need to like keep dealing with it. We just need to keep at it, and it's
Yes.
important to have that sort of a mindset, so that we don't completely feel demotivated just because things are taking time sometimes, and we are dealing with these long-term goals. The other thing I think is that was important for me is I always tried having some stress busters ready for myself, and I feel that that might be good for every PhD student to sort of identify what is that one thing, or what are a couple of things that can be a stress buster for me. And that can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be something very fancy. So it can be taking a walk for somebody. For me, it was like maybe going to a concert once a month or once in 2 months, and that would act as an oxygen for me. And I, in fact, I was talking to a friend of mine who said she was doing her master's in a city in India, and she sometimes used to take like a short local train journey around that city, and she felt that that really helped her boost up. So it can be something very simple, but it is always good to have these stress busters, or think what these stress busters for me are, and to save some time, so that there is something, there is this thing that can help me on a bad day, or there is this thing that can help me deal with stress on a daily basis. And the third thing I think for me was, and this is also relevant to a lot of people, because in university or during research, a lot of people move out of home, as Dr. Sharma also mentioned earlier, and there is like stress and homesickness associated with it. And I think the way I tried to deal with it is I tried to have a sort of adaptive mindset, where my focus was not only on what are the things that I don't have here, what are the things that I've left behind. That was not the focus, but the focus was more about what are the things that I have in this environment, what are the new things maybe that I can learn here, what are the things that are here in this environment that can help me fall in love with my environment. Is there one thing, I know that there can be things that are not here, but is there one thing that can help me fall in love with my campus, with my work environment, with the city that I am living in? And it's important. Maybe I'll have to stretch my boundaries a little bit. Maybe I'll have to try to celebrate a new festival. Maybe I'll have to try out a new food. Maybe I'll have to try and do something that I haven't done as much earlier. Maybe sometimes I'll have to have that mindset of being very adaptive to like trying out new things. But I think that always helps, because if you are not in harmony with where you are, if you are constantly under the grip of homesickness, if you are constantly stressed, that is bound to affect our work in all sorts of ways, maybe more than we can imagine. So I think these were some of the strategies I tried using, and I think it sort of really helped me, especially in the years of my PhD.
It was lovely to hear from you about stress management and empathy and stress busting. It was many of our viewers are from are away from home. I've seen that some Indians mainly in Norway, in Canada, all over the world. So I'm sure they will love to hear this dealing with homesickness thing. Okay, so I'll move on to Dr. Mojumdar. Dr. Mojumdar, the same question for you also. What type of soft skills did you already have that helped you in your career?
Thanks, Soma. Soft skill, I realized that soft skill is one such a thing that you have many soft skills, but you don't know that these are the soft skills because of the proper training or the proper education in the soft skill. We can't realize that, okay, it's a soft skill and I am good on it. Okay, for me, I realized, or I can say that for team building capacity, I can say that, because you can and all viewers can see that Bioingene is a collaborations of postdocs and PhDs from different locations. Actually, Jacinta and Liberty is there in here. We are also in same place in ED in Philippines in 2018 in a training. So we realized that we can work as a team, though we're different country. Liberty from America, Jacinta from Canada, I'm from India. So and also Neha was my friend from MSc. You, Shoma, also my friend from MSc. So we collaboratively make a team that is Bioingene, because I realized that when your goal is same or your intention is same, you have to excuse me, you have to collaborate, because it's give you speed to achieve this goal. There is no beauty if you trying hard and harder by its own. There is no meaning. If you have a goal, it can achieve with the collaboration. You should collaborate, achieve the goal, and make another goal which should be bigger than that goal. So achieving the goal through the collaboration is a very, very good, I think. And I also wanted to mention that like Dr. Yogesh Alavat also there, and we have some understanding on, because our some work interests are the same. So it's another type of collaborations. If your intention is same, you can collaborate. If your work ethics or your aim is the same, you can collaborate. There is no personal or professional life balance. This is not. If you think this is your aim, you have to achieve, then you can free to collaborate. And obviously during this collaboration, you have to open with the feedback. I'm always open for the feedback. I got so many feedback, like in Bioingene. After this webinar, I can got many feedback that I'm not getting the link, I'm not getting the certificate, I'm not getting my internet connection is so slow, I can watch it. But you have to realize that what is the correct feedback and what is the negative feedback or loose feedback. So I'm always working on that. I'm always getting the feedback from my peers, from my junior also. It's not it's not anything that you can getting the feedback from your juniors in the lab. If he is right, if he is scientifically correct, then you can getting the feedback. So I'm always open to the feedback, and I'm always ready to build something which is benefit most of the people, most of the society, because it's very hard to do something. Obviously, we are researchers. Our aim is specific, and it's sometimes it's so unique, because we always find some unique and specific research topic to flourish our life. But you have to collaborate, open to your any suggestions from the mass or from the guidance, but you have to learn that how to deal with that portion. I have to practice, or I have some training that okay, as Dr. Ghoshal says, that someone told you about negative, and you get negativity in you. It's not a big deal. It should not be like that. Okay, so I think feedback and teamwork is my strong point.
Okay, it was wonderful to hear from you about collaboration, teamwork, accepting feedback. Those are very important things to move ahead in life. I'll talk next to Dr. Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal, my question to you is the same, that we all have some sort of soft skills, if we realize it or not, and which takes us ahead in life. So what was yours?
Okay, thank you, Shuma, again. You know, I was listening to all the panelists, and I was just listening to everyone, and I just realized actually one of the soft skill that I was thinking about talking, and I will talk about it. I felt that each and every one of us here, at least in the panelists, and also like Jacinta and Liberty, they are not here. They're not, I think, in the panel. And everyone has it, and that is the urge to grow. They have a mindset to grow. Like that is basically, we can call it growth mindset. Like I heard from Dr. Elawat, he said that he has growth mindset. Madhumanti said that when she moves to a new place, she is trying to find how to overcome her stress. Shubhabrata, he said that when he is basically trying to collaborate, he's trying to, like, I am pretty sure while trying to launch this bioingene.com, he faced a lot of challenges, but he had this growth mindset that he will try to overcome it. And so that was something that I felt. I never knew that I had it, but I always thought that there is probably hardly anything that's I can't do. So I would literally try different things. If I feel like, or if I have a purpose that, oh, I want this thing, then I will try it in different ways. Uh, for that, if I have to collaborate, I will collaborate. If I have to talk to someone, I will talk to someone. But again, that's my negative part, where I feel shy talking to someone. So that was something negative on my side. But then again, since I had a growth mindset that, oh no, I need to attain this goal, I will go ahead and I will reach this goal. And I will try to just link it with a little bit of emotional intelligence, because you might have growth mindset that you want to grow, but I had that somewhere, that I want to grow, I want to learn new things, I wanted to have new challenges. And that probably have moved me through 3 different countries now. But also at the same time, emotional intelligence or emotions were negatively affecting me. And that's why I took like this different soft skills courses to just get over it. And so that urge to just to achieve something, or having that, no, if there's a problem, as Dr. Lawat said, that if there's a problem, you take it as a opportunity or a challenge, and just an opportunity to learn, rather than just taking it as a obstacle. And that's something I feel. So if I face a challenge, I obviously I don't like to face challenges at the very first, but then eventually I will be like, oh no, it's a challenge. Okay, let's try to find out ways and move ahead. So that positivity always helped me, and that mindset. But I believe everyone here within our panelist has that, because while listening to all of them, that's the feeling I got.
All right, lovely to hear from you. I'll next move on to Dr. Alawat. Dr. Alawat, okay, what was your quality or soft skill that you had that kept you going?
All right. So I think pretty much everything is covered. So I think I would say this one thing that we are never taught during our academic life, which is networking, and which is very important for our professional growth. I feel like if that is taught during our academic life, maybe it will definitely help further our professional career. So why do you need it? That's important, that's important question. So I feel like it's important to build up a strong independent research network, where you can actually actually enhance the other person growth, in addition to developing your career as well. So what are the ways? Why do you need it? Probably maybe finding the jobs. There could be different ways: research, development, collaborations, and maybe the potential growth. What are the ways? I would say, like, where else can you network? I'm just trying to keep more, precise and to the point. So maybe online networking is another important thing that we can do. I think most formal is LinkedIn, or like writing formal emails. I think if you are really interested, especially I guess our audiences would be more, I think, from the academic background, and so could be master's, PhD, or some of the young investigators. I think if you're trying to build up a strong independent network, it's really important you write to them, write an email, or linked up on the LinkedIn profile. So that's another thing. Maybe another different platforms like lab meetings, or some sort of journal clubs, or summer internships, summer schools. So these are another thing. I think conferences are one of the most important, where we actually, because everybody is from the research background, we present our research on a global platform. So that's something which is very important, where where we can actually showcase our skills, research skills especially, and meet people whom you are interested in. So who are the speakers, who are the presenters, or even the attendees, and you are interested in. So probably I think like either write to them ahead in advance before meeting them in the meeting, like in person, or just write, or just meet them in person, and talking about a research paper, a recent research paper that you have read, or maybe like some of the talks they have given. So something, something more formal and something which the other person is also interested in, and that also drives his or her growth, something, because he's, or the other person you're interested in also has his time constraints. So probably if you explain what are your research interests and long-term goals, so that would benefit both of you. So that's something which is more important for networking. So that's all about it.
Okay, it's very nice to hear from you about networking. It's really is very important. So that sums up our discussion session. Thank you, Dr. Halawat. Okay, that was a wonderful discussion session. I hope our viewers could relate to some of the experiences that our panelists shared with us today. To conclude today's panel discussion, it could be said that practice and training are the most important things in building your soft skills. And we are very fortunate to have with us today such a person who has expertise in teaching soft skills such as strategies related to collaboration, communication, group dynamics, and team building, learners' mindset, students' motivation, and mental well being. She is Dr. Kankana Ghoshal, researcher, educator, and former lecturer at the University of California, Los Angeles, USA. Dr. Ghoshal has experience in teaching many innovative ways of soft skills in the USA. Dr. Ghoshal, please share your screen and let's begin today's webinar.
Thank you, Shoma. I think, can you hear me?
Yes, it's
Okay,
wonderful to
okay.
hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Shoma, for the nice introduction. And definitely I would like to give thanks to Bioingene team for inviting me to share my experience. And definitely all our panelists, because it needs real courage to share their life stories with like almost 4,000 attendees. So, and they actually made my work easy. So so that's really good that now audience knows like the real story. And now I'm going to give you the basic, like the behind the scene. So okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody can see my presentation. Okay. So hello all, I'm Kankana Ghoshal, and today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of soft skills in academia to succeed in your professional and personal life. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so before I start my webinar, today we are actually celebrating, today's 5th September, and we celebrate Teachers' Day in India. So before starting my webinar, sorry. So, and I want to pay my tribute to one of the greatest teacher of all time, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. And then my heartfelt gratitude to my parents, to my teachers, my mentors worldwide. And then definitely pay my respect to all my teacher colleagues in USA. And finally, I want to give my deepest thanks to all the participants. So, okay, so as you have heard from our panelists, soft skills is actually the world of soft skills is vast. So when Shubhabrata and Shoma asked me to talk about soft skills, I was really excited, as well as I was really afraid because it's very hard to cover this huge, vast world in only one seminar. So that's why I'm trying to provide you a snapshot, and which is actually backed up by some scientific data or evidence, and some of actually from my real classroom teaching experience. So let's begin with the importance of skills. So as I have divided, I have divided my talk broadly into 4 parts. So the first one is importance of skills. So for today, when I have seen the attendees from the registration, when Shubhabrata has sent me this pie chart, so when I have seen that, I want to actually bring your attention to this pie chart. Here you can see we have like a huge, a diverse group of participants in today's seminar who are interested in soft skills. So from actually our seminar, from our registration, it's actually proven that soft skills are very important at at every stage of your career. So what do we all want? Like now we from panelists, from the audience, from the registration, and from us, like from Bioingene team, we can see that we are now at different stages of our career. But what do we all want? We actually all want a successful career. But when we want to have a successful career, what we should do? Like when we are trying to build our successful career, our first important job is to design our potential career path. Okay. And when we are trying to design our potential career path, we should consider multiple factors from like your professional and personal life. So suppose, and we all know, like in our academia, there are several paths, like academic paths, career path you can take. And here I'm going to show just only one of them. Suppose you are an undergraduate student and you want to be a professor in plant biology. So what should you do first? You have to do some career planning at the very beginning when you are the undergrad. So first you actually self-assess yourself. Like we call this VIA. So value, interest, and abilities. Abilities mean skills. So you need to ask yourself, like, what do you care for? What do you like to do? What are you like good at? Means what skills actually I have. The next step, you have to search some information, like what education I need to have, what skills I need to acquire to achieve my final goal. Next, the third step, you start taking action. Why I'm saying action? Because after having this big picture in your mind, you actually should start taking some training. You can involve in some internship, meaning you actually are trying to develop or improve your skills. Next, you start your job hunt. So fourth step of your career planning, career path planning is like job hunt, meaning you need to actually learn how to write a CV, how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter. So I mean, you need to acquire some skills to write the application material. Then you actually acquire the skills how to give the interview. so that you can be successful. And also networking, as Dr. Alao said, that networking plays a key role here. So you need to also learn how to network. Next, congratulations. You are now in a new professors in a plant biology department. So you are done, right? Are you done? No, actually you are not done yet, because you need to now, you achieve your career goal, but you need to now maintain your successful career. So to maintain, you need to have skills. To maintain also, you need to have skills, meaning you need to actually lead a lab. You need to perform some experiments. You need to lead your team. You need to even excel. You want to excel, right? So for that, you need to have different types of other skills. So from here, like this whole journey, what we can see, this is your like career path, your after achieving your goal, even to maintaining your career. So one factor is emphasized more and more. And what is that? That is called skills, your ability, right? Okay. So what is skill? Skill is actually an ability to do an activity or job well, especially because you have practiced it. So I am actually requesting you to remember this word, practice, okay? So practice, practice, and practice, because skills will grow with practice. So now, actually, broadly, there are two types of skills, right? The one is hard skills, and the second one is soft skills. So what are the hard skills or technical skills? This is like kind of technical knowledge or training that you have gained through any life experience. And what are the soft skills? Soft skills is actually your personal traits or habit that help you to work. Like, meaning you need to work on your own sometimes, and sometimes you need to work with others. So how you work with on your own, or how you work with others, this is like actually maintained by soft skills. Okay. So now coming to the point, like my second point, importance of soft skill. Okay, so why I'm saying like importance of soft skills? Because generally, especially sometimes in academia, when we consider building our career, what I do, what we just trying to prioritize, trying to measure our hard skill, our technical skills. We spend our lots of energy and also like time to acquire the hard skill, okay? But we sometimes didn't take care of soft skills. But a real career success need a combination of both. So why I'm saying that? Now you can see why I'm saying that. Let me bring my leisure pointer. Okay, so you can see there like hard skill. You need hard skill to perform the technical task, right? It is needed, okay? But on the other hand, you need to have the soft skills, because through soft skill, you can improve your productivity, right? As Dr. Neha said, as Ms. Datta said, that you need to manage time, you need to manage stress. So to be productive, right? So improve work performance and productivity. You can enhance relationship, meaning you can maintain your work relationship in a positive work environment. And when you are happy, you are maintaining your relationship in work, you actually are happy in your life, like personal life, right? Because this is very, very interdependent, like work life and personal life, they are very interdependent. Okay, and so here we can see like soft skills actually balance the hard skills. I actually have designed two scenarios for you. Probably many of them Many of you can relate with that scenario. But one thing I should say, sometimes this scenario may vary from person to person, because soft skill and overall skills actually is very personalized. Okay, there are common principles, but sometimes they vary from person to person. So let me show you my first scenario. Suppose, like, just think of student, of researcher in lab. So what he has now, he is very good at performing experiments. Like, and he's well versed with microscopy, lab techniques. He can like analyze the data very well. He can use like lots of software, and he can run PCR machine. Who doesn't know about PCR? I can say this is the like our Bible in the lab. Okay, so we can like extract, we can multiply our DNA. Okay, so this student is very good at that. However, performing and completing an experiment doesn't only shouldn't be your only skills and qualifications as a researcher. Okay, why I'm saying that? Because as Dr. Sharma said, you need to communicate, right? You are doing your experiment, but you are not communicating with your scientific community. So what's the point? What's the point of doing these experiments? Because nobody knows about you. Nobody cannot see your research, right? So you need to communicate, like verbally as well as in written. You need to communicate your research to the scientific community. Definitely. And another thing, when the panel discussion was going on, I have seen many audience are asking about public speaking skills. So I will little bit we'll talk about it later, very little bit, because as I have said, that it's a huge world. So I cannot cover everything today. I'm like asking for your apology. I will try uh, to just give you a snapshot. But public speaking also, like when I did my plant science research, I also volunteer in a botanical garden to actually enhance my public speaking skills, because I am very good at presenting my botanical, like my plant science research, but I don't know the layman language, how to understood other people, the plant evolution, right? Because outside world doesn't know much about plant evolution. So I continuously did volunteering to enhance my public speaking skills. So that means communication is a soft skills and you need it as a researcher. Then you have to manage like multiple projects in a timely manner. Then obviously in 21st century, you need to collaborate, like you need to do some interdisciplinary work to establish your career. So those are the skills you need. And now I'm going to give you my scenario 2. So in scenario 2, actually, I would like you to think, like you should, all of you should think, I have designed here a candidate. Suppose a candidate is going for an interview for an assistant professor position. Okay. So in this 21st century, what we are seeing actually, because we are seeing the importance of soft skills are actually growing, right? Are actually growing. Why it's growing? Because in 21st century, we have to, actually our work culture has been dramatically changed. What happened? First of all, now we do lots of collaboration, lots of interdisciplinary work. And like there are like lots of informations are also coming to us every day. So, and also we need to maintain, when we're collaborating with others, when we are doing some interdisciplinary work, when we interact with people about our work, actually we need to maintain also good relationship with them, right? So that means, and we need to maintain our positive work environment. So that means the interaction with people in a positive way, the demand is increasing. The demand is increasing. The frequency of interaction with people are increasing. In turn, actually soft skills demand is increasing because employers now need a candidate who is flexible in any type of situation, like who is flexible to work, like they can work in any type of situation, right? They can get along with their teammate, with their collaborator. So that means now the personality, now the personal traits or habits are coming, okay? But another thing actually employer knows now, that soft skills are very hard to develop and are very hard to learn. It needs rigorous training. It needs practice, rigorous practice. And so they actually now sometimes preferring a candidate who has more soft skills than hard skills. So now I'm going to show you the example. Suppose there are two candidates, they are competing with each other to get an assistant professorship job. And they can see, like, and when employer are seeing the resume or CV, they can see, oh, both of them have good publication, both of them definitely have PhD, and both of them actually have good teaching, excellent teaching skills, right? So what the employer will do? He's in confusion because both the hard skill wise, both of them are same. So the candidate selection becomes harder, okay? Then they are actually checking the soft skills at the time of interview. So they are actually questioning them, because nowadays when we run some interview, or we are as an interviewee, we face actually behavioral questions. What do you mean by behavioral questions? It's actually like now the employers are designing some case study and asking you to check how you are flexible, how you are collaborative, right? How is your leadership qualities? How you can motivate your student? So they are designing some case study and trying to judge your soft skill in the interview. So what happened next? Then they will select the candidate who has good soft skill set over another candidate who has the same hard skill but lack of soft skills. Okay, so I hope I make you understand. So that's why I am here quote Peggy Claus, like soft skills get little respect, but will make or break your career. So now from these two stories and from panelist discussion, from my talk, the first part of my talk, what we can understand, we understood actually we need to learn, right? We need to learn and develop the soft skills. So let's see like what is happening around the world, how world, like different organization and institution are trying to improve the soft skills of their students. And here I want to say that universities, many universities around the world are playing a great role, okay, to improve their students' soft skills. They are actually producing some graduates who are very good at hard skill as well as soft skills. So they can actually competing the world market, because what is in university's vision? Their vision is to produce someone who can compete, who can beat the other candidate. So we need to think about the world market, right? And academia is now like the soft skills in academia is now growing. So here, many universities around the world are taking many approaches, like mainly 3 approaches here I am showing, because for the sake of the time, I cannot say everything. So here I have chosen 3 approaches. So here is actually, I'm showing my class, like what class I taught at UCLA. So as I have said, like this is the training of soft skills or soft skills world. The world of soft skills is vast. I actually taught a class at UCLA, which is like collaborative learning theory and practice. And this is kind of 10 weeks class, 10 weeks. So what we do, we actually first try to aware of the importance and consequences of shortcomings of the soft skills in the student. And then we gave like ample opportunities, ample scope to practice these soft skills in the class, outside the class. Like for my class is collaboration. So they practice with their peers, with us, with their juniors. Okay, so they practice more. So one nice thing I want to share with you guys, that when they first came at the very beginning, like on week 1, and when they were going at the week 10, they actually changed. They actually completely changed. They know how to collaborate. And I'm talking about the undergraduates. Okay, so university can embed the soft skills program in their program curriculum, or actually they can mix and match with their content course also. Like as here in this class, I did my my lecturership, as well as I actually do guest lecturership in microbiology, because my background is plant science and microbes. So like plant science and virus, actually, rather to say. So when I do guest lecturership, what we do, we actually transform the traditional classroom to active learning classroom. And we give like ample opportunities of collaboration, communication, poster presentation, report, journal club writing, oral presentation, like this type of time management. So this type of this type of skills we actually packed with microbiology and teach them and ask them to practice. Okay, so in this way, university actually can embed the soft skills in their course curriculum or in their academic courses. The next one is like research. There are several researchers researching on the importance and value of soft skills. You can have now very good papers in very good journals. And the last one, many universities has their designated career center, where the students can go and attend the guided training or workshops on soft skills. So the soft skills definitely differ from context to context. Like it depends on at which career, at what stage of career you are now, what is your goal, like do you want to go, why you are taking these skills, soft skills, rather than these soft skills. So it's actually varies from person to person and context to context. So I want to actually provide you a comprehensive list of soft skills in academia. So though there are like many more, but here I was trying to jot down a few. And so this is the list. Now, before going to today I'm actually going to discuss, like you can see, 5 individual soft skills, a brief discussion on 5 individual soft skills. But before, and I made bold them, like the first 5 I'm going to discuss today. But before discussion, a brief discussion, doing the brief discussion on soft skills, as Dr. Alawat and Dr. Ghoshal said, the mindset is main. Okay, so mindset. So now I am actually going to show you the relationship between mindset and success. Okay, because like we definitely, when we are trying to build a good career, build good academic life, build good professional life, and to have a personal life also, good personal life also, we actually thinking about our cognitive ability. But we need to think about our mindset also. So let's start. Let's learn the mindset. So first of all, what is a mindset? Mindset is a person's way of thinking. Okay, it's a mentality, the established set of attitude and opinions. It is a belief that direct us the way we handle the situation. Okay, so that means based on our mindset, we actually take actions, and that's why we say that mindset make our differences in our life. So that's why here I'm saying mindset actually shapes our life, because on the basis of mindset, we are taking the action. Okay. So that's why we need to build right mindset for learning and for achievement and for success. That's why here I really like this picture. I used this before also, like a mindset, like an example of mindset. Like if we cannot direct the wind, then we have to adjust our own self, right? Because we cannot like direct the winds, but we can direct us. So here actually I'm going to present you a person, actually more like scientist's work. So Professor Carol Dweck from Stanford University, she has spent years of studying the human belief system and how this belief system works. And she coined two terms. One is called growth mindset and the other one is called fixed mindset. So what is fixed mindset? When a person believes that their basic abilities, intelligence, and talents are fixed, and when a person can, like a person believes that ability and intelligence can be developed through hard work, perseverance, effort, and learning. So this is the difference between these two mindsets. Okay. And here I took a screenshot of her book. So if you find this book, if you you can read this book, because her study, her research, she actually has written about regarding her study in this book. And this is called Mindset. This book is referred to as Mindset. It's a very nice book. So let's check, okay, that I'm saying growth mindset and fixed mindset. From my from my from this picture, you can see something is locked, but something is growing, right? So lock and grow. So these two different mindset, how these two different mindsets is actually respond to different phenomena. Like fixed mindset people believe that intelligence is static, as Dr. Alawat said, right? But growth mindset people see that, believe that intelligence is changeable. As fixed mindset people see that intelligence is static. So when they face challenges, they avoid it. But the growth mindset people actually embrace the challenge. When they face obstacles, the fixed mindset people give up easily, right? They don't want to do anything more. But growth mindset people is actually persist in the face of setback. Okay, so they learn from the mistake. They face the challenge. So here are other parameters also, like effort, criticism, success of others. So here I'm not going to talk about everything. I think this video will be available later. So here in this slide, I'm giving the data, like the from her research. So if you guys want to come back later, you can come back later and learn about other 3 parameters. Now, I'm going to show you like how these 2 different mindsets actually impact our learning and achievement. So the first parameter, and not only Professor Dweck, but also many other scientists are actually now working on growth mindset, fixed mindset, and how they are working or they have impact on the learning and achievement and success, even on mental health. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So how a growth mindset student see their learning goal. They actually motivated and engaged in learning. But a growth mindset, fixed mindset student, they are actually rejecting the learning opportunity. They just want to look smart in the school. Okay. Another researcher who is actually working on mental health, this group actually shows like growth mindset students actually cultivate mental well-being, less likely to experience the anxiety, depression, and perfectionism because they don't believe in the perfection. They believe in the process, okay? The learning process. If they are perfect, they are perfect. If they are not, don't care. They are believing their process, learning process, their effort, okay? But researchers showed that 58% teenagers with fixed mindset, they are actually have more likely to have symptoms of anxiety, depression, and even aggression to their peers. And the last one is actually not it's last for my talk, but there are several studies. You can, if you are interested in growth and fixed mindset and how it works in your learning and your achievement, you can you can Google it. So this is the last parameter for my talk, for today's talk. There are lots of other parameters. So my last parameter here for today's talk is like the reaction to setback, reaction to failure. So when a growth mindset student see the failure as feedback, they learn from mistake. They actually do their study. If they fail, if they didn't like pass the exam, they think, okay, so probably next time I need to do some extra stuff, like I need to probably study differently. Probably in my process there is a problem, there is an error, so probably I should learn in this way rather than what I have done before. So they just change their strategy. Okay, so there are, again, there are so many research, and I have, when I was getting my teacher's training, I actually have learned, I was very fortunate to learn those research. So on study habit, like how students can change their study habit and ultimately how they can actually achieve their goal. So, but today it's beyond my scope. I'm sorry, but I am just giving you the overall picture. So with the fixed mindset student, they actually don't want to study more. They just, next time in future, they consider cheating. They are find someone who are like kind of worse than them so that they can look smart. And ultimately they run from difficulty. So these are all the impacts on our learning and achievement. Let's see what our brain is actually doing. Now I'm shifting my gear a little bit. Now I'm going to show you our brain, like our real brain's activity, what is the relationship between our real brain activity and growth mindset. So here I am showing you like two brain picture. Okay. So Moser et al. In 2011, they actually measured, this group measured the brain activity when these two different sets of mindset students, the students with these two different mindsets actually confront an error. They actually measure the electric activity from our brain. So on the left, you can see this is a brain of a fixed mindset student. And you can see there is no activities going on. Okay. When they confront an error, there is no activities going on. They are actually running from the error. They are not engaged even. But on the right, you can see a brain of growth mindset student. You can see the brain is actually on fire, right? They are deeply engaged in the error, not in the error, like trying to find out what I did, what mistake I did actually, right? They are more cautious to find out their error. So they are deeply engaged to find out their error, to learn from there. So here you can see that their brain is actually on fire. So, okay. So to summarize, now we kind of learn like our relationship between brain and growth mindset. So to summarize, here I'm actually saying you as the story of our plastic brain. So we can say this is our brain is plastic, right? It's moldable, it's changeable. So from the growth mindset point of view, we say practice, practice, and practice some more, right? How Dr. Majumdar said, like practice makes a man perfect, meaning like how do you practice more, you will become better at it, right? So growth mindset said that. On the other hand, not on the other hand, actually in the same line, what happens, what actually our brain is doing, our brain can grow, our brain can change, our brain can make new neural connections when they face some challenges, when they are trying to practice it more, practice it rigorously. Okay, so that means here we can see there is a simple relationship between growth mindset and brain. So both of them, when they are facing challenges, they want to do the hard work. They are doing practice, practice, and practice. And after all, like at the end of the day, our brain become smarter and stronger. So there is a relationship between growth mindset and brain, because from our childhood days, our parents, our teachers continuously said to us, oh, practice, do practice, practice, practice. But now we know like why actually we need to practice, because we can change our brain, we can be smarter and stronger. Okay. So after having all this knowledge, what should you do? How you can build your growth mindset. You have to become a lifelong learner, seek out new challenges. Here I'm trying to actually jot down like at least nine strategies. I am not going to talk about this 9. You can come back and definitely try these strategies. So here, definitely ask for feedback and learn from it. As Dr. Majumdar said, ask for feedback and learn from it. Okay, don't run away. Huh? Okay, so my last thing on growth mindset is like the teacher's role to foster students' growth mindset. A teacher can talk about neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? As I have just said, you should talk about about our plastic brain. So neuroplasticity means the brain can change. The brain can change. Brain is changeable. Brain is moldable, right? At the response to our action. So they can talk about neuroplasticity. They can praise the effort, means the process, instead of praising the student's challenge, the talent or intelligence. And also they can use some encouraging language to motivate their students. And definitely they must be approachable. They have to ask their students that if you have some problem, please come to me. Okay, so here I'm not going to talk about this, but you can see some example, like an example from her book, from Dr. Doek's book, and there are more examples available. So here you can phrase your praise to foster the growth mindset in your student's brain. Okay, now I am actually at the last part of my talk. Here I'm going to give you a snapshot of 5 individual soft skills which are required in academia. It's actually not in academia, it's in in every field, as Ms. Roy said at the very beginning. So here I'm going to discuss these 5 soft skills, briefly discuss on these 5 soft skills. So let's first start with the communication. So communication is the human connection, right? It's important to, in your professional life, in your, as well as your individual life, right? You need to communicate with others. This is the basic ground. If you want to set some basic relationship, you need to communicate, okay? So what are the communication skills? They are the abilities you use when giving and receiving different kinds of information. And what are the importance, as I have said, like effective communication is essential to understand others and to be understood others, right? So you need to understand others and you need to be understood by others. So without communication, it's not happen, right? And definitely, if you have a good communication skills, as I have said in my second scenario, like you can get hired, you can get promoted, and you can reach your successful career goal. So there are mainly, broadly, 3 types of communication. One is written, the second one is verbal, and the third one is non-verbal. Again, in 1 hour, I cannot show you all the subtypes of these 3 types. So here I have chosen 3 or 4 from each type. So for written communication skills, what are the importance? I have chosen 3 subtypes, and I'm going to show what are the importance of these 3 written communication skills subtypes. The first one I have chosen like academic writing skills, right? So we all know about academic writing skills because we need it. We need it actually from writing a lab book to writing a paper. So there's a huge range of academic writing skills. And why you need to write, first of all, that when you are actually writing, you are sharpening your thinking process. So that's the basic importance of writing. And definitely when you are writing, like writing a paper, writing a project, writing a grant, all of them has their individual importance. So as Dr. Majumdar said, that writing a paper to communicate your research work to the scientific community. The second one is you need to be good at academic job application material writing. As I have said, when I was showing you my career planning path, you have seen that at the 4th step, at the job hunting step, you need to have this good academic skill, good academic job application writing skills, because this is your first impression to your prospective supervisor. So you need to write a clear message about you to your prospective supervisor. You need to write what are your qualities, what are your skills, what are your experience in a very structured and nice way. So this is a very important skills in writing. The last one is, here I have chosen my third one, email etiquette. Okay, so you need to know the good email etiquette. You need to have actually good email etiquette manner, because when in this century, definitely we every day we probably write like lots of email, and this is your email. The way you are writing your email is actually can have the positive or negative impression on the receiver. So next, go to the verbal communication skills. The first one I have chosen, the presentation. So as Dr. Sharma said, already you have the live story, right? From like half an hour ago, that communication is actually how you communicate with your research, how you communicate your research with other people is actually coming from you throughout your presentation, right? So you need to have a good presentation skills. And presentation has another good thing, that is presentation is very interactive. So in this, if you are good at your presentation, you can have actually more feedback from your audience. And more feedback meaning you will be improving, you will be more good at it, right? So presentation, try to give more presentation, okay? Because you need to have more feedback from your audience. Next one is public speaking. So as I have already shared my own experience, like public speaking is a very good communication skills, okay? So just don't afraid. Try to check some library or some organization or some institution, so that, and you can request, you can volunteer actually, right? You can ask them, okay, I want to be a public speaker, do you have anything for me? I can do volunteering. Okay, so public speaking, we need to do it, because if we really want to motivate or inspire others about our work, we need to speak publicly, because scientific community is very small. If you just want to be in your scientific community, it's hard to express yourself more. So you need to have public. And then the next skill is providing feedback. So when you are providing the feedback, it means like you are actually giving or helping other people, that what area of the what area of this receiver is actually are good at it, or what area they should improve. So providing feedback is a very good communication skills, and you need to know how to provide a feedback. And the last one is networking. I think Dr. Alawat said a lot of it, like strategies, how to do it. So he actually made my job easier. So definitely you need to have networking skills, because you can get contacts through these skills. You can get advice. You can take some informed career decision, and obviously you can find some unadvertised job or internship through these skills. So my last one is like nonverbal communication skills. So here I have chosen the one of the most crucial one, which is active listening. So you must be an active listener. If you really want to be a good communicator, first and foremost job to be an active listener, because then only you can gain the full and accurate ideas of what your speaker is saying. So you need to be active listener. Then the second one is kind of facial expression. So from this, this is like kind of like the facial expression is very good skill to have at interview, right? Because employee can see your face and judge from your face. So this is kind of the impression you can have on others. And the third one is eye contact. So if you do the eye contact, it means you are paying full attention to your speaker. Okay, so these all are non-verbal, okay, because we are not talking. We are just by our body language, by our posture, gesture, by listening, we are actually showing our like our receiver or other people that whether we are paying our full concentration or not. Okay. So what are the consequences of lacking communication skills? Like miscommunication can create conflict within a team if you are not good at communication skills. Poster or oral presentation might not get accepted. You can fail at interview. And another one kind of, which is a very important for us, like scientific paper or article might not get published. So those can be the consequences. So here, actually, I would love to give you the improvement strategy for all of them. But again, this is beyond my scope. So here I have just chosen only one, like how to give a good oral scientific presentation. So the first one, the first strategy, that first you should consider your audience. Okay, so consider your audience, meaning you need to actually adjust the pitch of the talk on the basis of your audience. So you need to think like your audience is expert or non-expert, graduate student or undergraduate students, or faculty or your employee. So on the basis of the audience, you can design your talk. Then definitely structure your presentation. So you need to actually logically think that what the structure, what the points you want to include in your presentation. Like first should be the title, then the background, then the your hypothesis, then result, then conclusion. So you need to structure your talk in a very logical way. You need to include the elements in a very logical way. Then you must improve your quality of slide so that the figures and the data should be in a right contrast. They should have right sharpness, as well as they should have like kind of like the every diagram should be annotated. If you are putting some schematic diagram, you need to maintain the flow chart, like your font and your even the arrow size and length should be the same. Okay, so you should maintain the quality of your slide. Then content, like again, it's kind of interdependent with audience. So you need to have your good content. Like you need to be sure like what type of background you need to include, what data we need to include. So be careful about your content. And then definitely delivery of the presentation. So when you are delivering your presentation, you must be poised and smooth. You have to maintain the right pace throughout your seminar. And definitely your presentation must be understandable. Okay. And the last one, definitely you should include the takeaways, meaning you need to include the clear message, clear summary of your talk. Okay, so those are the 6 strategies you can have a good oral presentation. My second skill is collaboration. So like teamwork and collaborative capability. So we all know we need to do all sorts of like collaboration and teamwork in all aspects of our life. So there is probably not a single job now in this 21st century what doesn't need collaboration or teamwork, right? So we need to build these skills. So here I'm actually going to show you a subtle difference between teamwork and collaboration. So teamwork is work within a group to achieve a common goal, but collaboration is actually work between two or more groups to achieve a goal. So there is a subtle difference between teamwork and collaboration. And what are the collaboration skills? Is the abilities which enable people within an organization to engage with each other, to be productive and to be efficient. So what are the importance of collaboration? Definitely you can save time, you can share your knowledge, your skills, your responsibility with other members, you can get good feedback from your team members so that you can improve, you can build social network, and definitely you can increase the interdependence. So here I have jotted down like 9 importance. I cannot go like one by one. So if you guys want to see, you guys can come back and check that. So what are the consequences of having a poor collaboration skills? What can happen? Here I'm saying, giving some example from research lab. Your collaborative projects can get delayed, then you cannot be productive anymore. And definitely at the end of the day, your collaborative project will be terminated, okay? So why it's like that? Why it's happened? Because we sometimes afraid to accept and give feedback. Team members are, there is a lack of transparency in team members, meaning a few team members can actually withhold the information, or they can take the final decision without informing the other team members. So when the other team members don't know that, oh my God, it's the final decision has been taken. So this is not good, right? Then your collaboration will be just disrupted. So be transparent when you are doing a collaboration. Then members may not be clear about their specific task, and members sometimes are not flexible at the time of emergency. If your supervisor really need you for something, try to judge the emergency and definitely talk to him, okay? So be flexible at the time of emergency. So now I'm giving you like one strategy of these challenges. I can only focus on one strategy of feedback. So how to provide the feedback? So when you are providing a feedback to someone, first judge the trust level, right? So providing a feedback kind of depends on the trust level, like how much trust you have between your team. And if you see that, okay, there is a good trust in our team, then you should give the constructive feedback, meaning your feedback must be supportive and identify solutions in the weak area of your team member. So you must be, first of all, supportive, and you need to find out some solution from his side actually. Like you cannot just say, like here I'm giving you an example, like you are a bad dog. What that does mean, right? You bad dog, so what? So that's why dog is saying, could you be please more specific? So it means like just don't say them that, oh, it's bad, oh, it's good, it's okay. No, just find out the um, weak area, right? Weak area of your team member. Then try to think whether you have the trust. If you see that, okay, we have a like ample trust within us, then ask them, can I say something to you so that you can improve more? If he said, oh yes, just go ahead and just give me some good suggestions so that I can improve more, please say that. Please give the solution to him so that he can improve. Okay, so this is kind of constructive feedback. So it's a very positive feedback. Definitely depend on the trust, but if you have trust, give the constructive feedback. Okay. So what are the accepting feedback strategy? I have shown you how to give the constructive, positive feedback, but now is the strategies to how to accept the feedback. When you listen to the feedback, uh, you first listen to the feedback, then be aware of your response, be open. Okay, so sometimes what happened, like when our supervisors are saying us something, we, like as a human being, we are always in a defensive mode, like flight or fight mode, right? But like, oh, my supervisor is not saying good to me. But your supervisors, if you have trust, if as he is your supervisor, you should first think like, okay, I shouldn't be in the defensive mode. I should listen to him. I should be aware like what mistakes actually I have done, and he is giving me the feedback for my good. So please accept the feedback. The good example of accepting feedback is when we submit our papers to a journal, our reviewers actually give us the best constructive feedback. They are not actually giving us the, oh, this data is not good, this figure is not good. No, they don't do that. They actually are figuring out what are the specific mistakes we have done. So if you guys have had this, like I think many of our audience have already published the paper and have gone through this experience. So for hard feedback example, for constructive feedback example, reviewer, like reviewing a paper is the most good, like most best, sorry, most relevant example. Okay. So now the second part of collaboration is group meeting. Okay, so when you do the collaboration, you need to do lots of small group meetings. So what are the challenges of doing a small group meeting? Because sometimes you cannot find a common time among the for the for the members to meet. Next, another point is kind of some members can be dominating and some members can be shy. So there is not a good participation happening in this meeting. So what should we do? We can actually use an online free scheduling tool to find out a common meeting time. So here I'm showing you a doodle. So doodle is a uh, online scheduling tool. So if you want to fix a time for every member, you can actually use this tool. Next, you can definitely, your members, your team is full of different personality, because full of different persons means full of different personality. So everybody is not same in this world. Everybody is unique actually. So please, you can ask politely to them, please think about your personality and then make space for others. Next, meeting coordinator or meeting chair should must be responsible so that everybody can participate. So he can actually designate some roles to everyone so that everybody can participate in the meeting. And the last one is definitely to have a ground rule. So what is ground rule? What that does mean? Ground rules are actually an expectation, like how you can interact with others during the meeting. So at the very beginning of the meeting, you should actually have some ground rule. So here are some examples of how to fix a ground rule, like everyone should be invited to speak, everyone should listen carefully, so that every member should know how to interact with each other. My third skills is emotional intelligence and empathy. Okay, so few slides before, I have shown you the relationship between mindset and success. Now, in this topic, I'm actually going to show you the emotions, the relationship between emotions and success. So mindset and success is growth mindset. And then emotions and success is emotional intelligence and empathy. As Dr. Ghoshal said, and Dr. Ms. Datta said, so we need to have these skills. So what is emotional intelligence? Like the ability of an individual to understand and manage his or her own emotion as well as others' emotion. Because as I'm continuously saying to you, in this 21st century, in academia also, we are trying to build more team, we are trying to do more collaboration, means we are trying to manage more people. So if the frequency of interactions is higher, that means we are also having our less time. So we need to manage our emotion as well as others emotion. So the balance between these two, if you want to do that, you need to actually learn the emotional intelligence skills. So in the business world is the emotional intelligence, or here I am showing you EQ, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. In the business world is proven that EQ is playing the highest role for success. But in academia, when we consider to build our career, to have our success in career, in our life, we are actually mostly considering IQ. But as I have said, I'm saying repeatedly that work culture has been changing dramatically. Now EQ is actually shifting or coming to the academia. Okay. So this is the importance of EQ in academia. We need to build these skills because we need to manage more people. So here I'm not going to go into the detail of emotional intelligence because there's a huge thing. Here I'm just showing you the 5 components of emotional intelligence, and I am choosing for today is empathy, right? So empathy, what is empathy? It is a component of emotional intelligence skills. So what is empathy? Empathy is the ability to understand other people's feelings and perspective, and to use that understanding to guide our actions. So we say that, like, put yourselves on other person's shoes. Okay. So here I found out some cute picture of empathy. This is like the cartoon, and this is the real life when a teacher is really talking with their students and trying to solve their problem or at least talk to them. This is kind of empathy. We have broadly 3 types of empathy. The first one is cognitive empathy. It means think about others. So when you are seeing someone in pain or in a good situation, just think about others. The second one is like feel others. Okay. So first one is think others. The second one is feel others. So that's why it's called second one, emotional empathy. And the third one is compassionate empathy. That means when you see someone is in pain, try to help them, try to take some action for them. So it's kind of the highest level of empathy. Like I hear a very good example is mentor-mentee relationship. Okay. So now in academia, this mentor-mentee relationship things are really growing, right? So your mentor is actually helping, like holding your hand and trying to push, or sorry, trying to pull you to the upper level. Okay. So my mentor is actually when I have first, when I went to my internship training on the very first day, my mentor at Los Angeles Community College, my mentor told to every student that Kankana is my mentee, and I am trying to hold her hand and pull her to the top of the rope. So please help our students to be with her, to cooperate with her. So that is kind of mentor-mentee relationship. And this is the highest level of empathy. And when you achieve these 3 type of empathy, undoubtedly you can establishing a good, positive relationship with your workers, with your peers, with your collaborators, etc. So now, what are the importance of being empathic in academia? As I have said before, like build effective collaboration, improve cultural competence, and there are so many other reasons. But here I just want to mention about cultural competence, because nowadays cultural competence, you must be culturally competent, meaning you need to actually understand and you need to have a feel for diverse group of people. So you have to work with diverse group of people nowadays. So try to understand them and then work with them. So this is called cultural competence. Okay. And then consequences of lacking empathy. So as usual, like you are less willing to listen to others, understand others, then you can be argumentative, then blame others, and ultimately you will just emotionally outburst. And then there are some strategies to expand your empathic potential. So be present and courageous, then be curious, listen to others, listen hard, and then definitely create a culture of teamwork, because as you practice empathy, it will be like growing. So you need to practice empathy and definitely choose an attitude of gratitude. It helped me personally a lot. So in every morning, I write down 3 persons' name who I am like to whom I give my gratitude. And at every night, I write down 3 persons' name who to whom I am grateful. So practice gratitude. Okay, then you can probably feel your values also. My fourth one is time management. So I know this is a very, very important skills. So time management is a skill which we all need, because it will reduce. You can be very productive at your work and at your life also if you can manage your time. And there are lots of like talk went on in the panel discussion. So definitely time, if you are good at time management, you actually can reduce your stress, and you can have more work-life balance. So now I want to ask you to write in the chat box, like how often do you find yourself running out of time? Like weekly, daily, hourly? Because many of us are actually kind of, it seems to us that there is never enough time to finish our work. Okay, so either you run your day or your day will run you. It's a very nice quote. I like this quote. So what are the importance of time management for better life? I will just tell you the first one, and definitely after telling you the first one, you can understand the others. Okay, I will explain the first one. Because we have 24 hours, and as a human being, we have limited energy. We cannot work in every seconds of these 24 hours. So you have to actually carefully spend your time and energy when you really want to be productive, because it's very, very crucial to take control of your time and reduce your stress. So that's why this is probably that's why I have written in at the very top, like importance of good time management, effective time management is like time and energy is limited. So please keep it in this mind, like time and energy is limited. Next, like what will be the consequences if we have the effective time management? Definitely, we can handle multiple projects, we can meet deadlines, and we will be more productive. And when we manage our time, we can take some free time for us. On the other hand, this free time will give you to do something for yourself. So your mind will be calm and composed, and then you will take the good, better decision, and then ultimately you will be productive. You will reduce your error in your work. So this is the whole scenario of the consequences of effective time management. The next one is what will be the consequences of poor time management. So here we can see that getting less done than you expected, meaning when you are not good at time management, you are sometimes putting more time on our part of the job, and when you see, oh my god, I don't have much time left, so you are insufficient time. When the insufficient time left, your rest part of the job is actually left. So you are actually not completing the whole job. So that's why you expect that you will be finishing the job, but you couldn't because of your bad time management, poor time management. Then definitely you will enable to meet deadlines, and your disorganized workplace and your stress level is getting high. This will lead to your health issue, and ultimately you quit the job. So this could be the consequences of poor time management. So why it's like that? Why it's happening actually? Because sometimes we work without setting a goal and setting a priority. Sometimes we don't delegate our work. Like we are not passing on our work. We are trying to do everything by ourselves. If there is a chance that we can pass on some of our work to our colleagues or our friends or our peers, we still want to do everything by our own. Then definitely poor organization skills and definitely procrastination. So this word is coming like in this century, this procrastination is a very tough word, because it means you are delaying the work till the last minute. So don't procrastinate. So here I want to say you something, that time management strategies, because I'm now going to show you some common time management strategies. But one thing I should say, that time management strategies are very personal because we are unique. It's not that every time management strategies are working for all of you. So different time management strategies can work differently from you. So that's why there are 4 basic principles which are common to all. So strategies are not common to all. You need to find out what strategies are working for you, but the principles are common to all. So let me show you the principle. So the first one is prioritization. What is prioritization? That you cannot do every work, because it's again 24 hours and our energy is limited. So we need to think like which work is more important than others, and then you set our works in our calendar. The second one is organization. You must be a good organizer, or at least a reasonable organizer. Otherwise, you are losing immense time. You will miss deadline. So 2 ways you can organize yourself. One, you can actually use diary or calendar to organize your time and everything. And then definitely file your stuff, so that if you when you are not finding a lecture note and you are just spending hours to find out the lecture notes, so don't do that. So try to organize your stuff. Next, focus. So focus when you know that this work is, or this work I'm going to do today and for that long, then you need to focus on that stuff to be more productive without any interruption. So what is like without, why I'm saying without interruption, because sometimes social medias can interrupt your concentration or your focus. So try to avoid social media when you are studying. Then is like it varies person to person, like where we can focus more. Like some person can focus more on a separate study room, some person can focus more in the library. So try to find out your environment, like your study place. And definitely here I want to show you, like some person can be more productive at night, some person can be more productive in the morning. So definitely this is kind of the environmental effect on focus. Okay, here I want to say something. How I'm doing as time, Shoma? How long?
Actually, we are enjoying it so much.
Okay, so I have just one skill left. So
Yeah, sure.
if okay, so I can continue.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Oh,
I just love
oh,
it.
thank you. So okay,
Okay. Yeah.
and the fourth principle is self-discipline. So why self-discipline? Because just one slide before I said procrastination, right? Delaying your work till the last minute. And we all procrastinate. Everybody procrastinate, okay? But try not to do it, okay? So self-discipline means, like, because good time management actually comes down to self-discipline. So don't prone to procrastination. Sometimes we do procrastinate, but don't prone to it, okay? Don't make it a habit of procrastinating. So you can procrastinate a little bit sometimes, but don't make it a habit. And definitely self-discipline, meaning you have to have work-life balance. Because when the panelists were discussing their real story, I have seen, like, some of you in the chat box in the YouTube, they were telling, they were writing, like, how to have the like work-life balance. If you want to, if you are good at time management, work-life balance actually coming uh, after that. So if you are a self-disciplined person, work-life balance will come eventually. So as I have said, I'm going to give you strategies of how to manage your time. But two strategies now I'm going to give you. One is setting goals, and the number two is like tools, some tools. Giving you some tools to time for time management. And these two strategies is actually kind of common to all. So the first one is how to set your SMART goal. Okay, don't set your goal, set your SMART goal. Okay, what do you mean by SMART? So here you can see on the right of the slide, SMART. S for specific, M for measurement, A for attainable, R for relevant, and T for time-based. Meaning, when you are setting a goal, try to be specific. When you are setting a goal, keep something, keep some measurement so that you can see, like, you are reaching to your goal. So here you can see, if you see the figure, you can see like a graph, right? That means it's going on. So you are actually measuring that whether you are reaching to this goal or not. So you can keep track of your goal reaching process. So measurable. Attainable means you must be sure that your goal must have at least 50% of chance of success. So, and then the R, relevant, the goal must be relevant to you, important to you, and definitely have deadline. Here I am trying to give you two examples. So the first one is actually just the goal, right? I want to get a PhD degree. Okay, fine. Then here we can see there is no deadline. And if you don't have any deadline, you don't have any urgency. So you are just doing your PhD. And definitely there is no measurement, like how you can measure that you are reaching to your goal. But the number 2 is actually, I want to get a PhD degree by my 29th birthday. Okay, so here you have a deadline. So you have the urgency. So the first one is generic goal. The second one is smart goal. So try to fix the smart goal. And here in this slide, I am actually giving you 2 tools to prioritize your work. As I have said, the first principle of time management is priority, setting the priority. So here you can actually have to-do list, okay? So you can have 2 lists. The first one is master to-do list. The second one is daily to-do list. So suppose on the red one is your master to-do list. That means to reach your goal, what task you have to do, you can write them on your master to-do list. However, you have to break down your big task into small tasks. Meaning you have to break down your big task in daily task, basically. So if you want to have one task on your master to-do list, you have to break it down probably 3 or 4 parts in your daily list, so that you don't, because our goal is not to give you the stress, but to give you the time management strategy. So these 2 lists you can always have. Like I have this personally, I have these 2 lists, and I have these 2 lists on my bedside table. So regularly I follow this list. And the second one is a matrix. So this is a matrix, you can say, and this is a very easy tool. Okay, use it, because this is called decision making matrix. So you have your to-do list on the left. So now you have to judge like what work is important to you, what work is urgent to you. So based on your urgency and importance of your work, you can actually fill in this matrix. And if you can see, like if it's important to urgent, you can it's kind of do it now. If it's like non-urgent but important, it's kind of decide, like schedule a time to take the decision. So in this way, we call this 4D matrix. So you can definitely use this. Okay, so this setting the smart goal and having the prioritization tools, this is kind of common for all. But now I'm going to give you more strategies, and definitely, as I have said, it like one size not fit all. So definitely every strategy will not work for everyone. You can try and find out whether these strategies are working for you or not. Let's start the strategies. So the first one is like you can break down your big goal. Second one, plan your week on Sunday. So write down your to-do list on Sunday. Then definitely set up a false deadline. Like if your deadline is kind of next Friday, you should set your deadline on next, on Tuesday. Okay, so try to find out a false deadline for you so that you can be more productive. You have a thinking like, okay, I need to finish by Tuesday. Forget about Friday. Then you have the revision time between Tuesday to Friday. So you can have 3-day revision time. Okay, 3 days revision time. So this is kind of like, that's why I have written set up deadlines, even if you don't need to. Then another strategy we say, like identify and eat your frog each day. Means we all have high priority work to do every day. Try to do this high priority work in the morning so that you can be free for more work in the whole day. Then definitely take care of yourself, take out some time for you. Then avoid distraction when you are studying. Then definitely reward yourself. So like we all are human beings, right? We need motivation. So motivate yourself. Like if you do a good job, definitely you can reward yourself. Here, I actually want to quote Abhishek Bachchan. I was reading an article last week, and probably many of you know that there is a series in Amazon Prime. It's called Breathe, the Breathe 2, the shadow, yeah, something shadow extra name. So he actually told his director that after, because his last scene was very, very critical, very hard, right? He was actually like displaying a good character as well as a bad character, like a disorder, mental disorder character. So, and the last scene, he actually, his director asked him to bring two characters together. So that was his, like he told that he when he gave the interview, he said that this is the most challenging scene, one of the most challenging scene I have ever done in my whole career. Then he said, after finishing this scene, I thought, like I said to my director, after finishing this scene, I need to go to a vacation. That means after finishing this scene, he wants to actually reward himself. Okay. So suppose you publish a paper. Okay. On that day, reward yourself. Nobody has to reward you. You are the person, you are yourself. So you can empower yourself and reward yourself. That's all. Don't wait who will come, who will celebrate your paper. Go to a good place. Okay, now is COVID time, so you cannot go probably many places, but just make a good food for you, or watch a series in Netflix. Okay, so reward yourself after hard work. Then definitely learning to say no to unimportant work. And then if you want to start a new habit, you can actually start a new habit and set your timer for 2 minutes. You will see eventually like 2 minutes is gone and you are still doing this work. So it's called 2-minute rule. Next, use your waiting time if you are transporting to, like, again, it's COVID time, so probably you cannot do much, but try to use your waiting time. Then focus one task at a time. Then definitely take regular breaks between the tasks so that your mind can be can become cool and calm and composed to jump to the before jumping to the second work. Then create a done list. It will give you empowerment again, because you can say like tick 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 tick, so you are done. So it will give you the empowerment that you did something. And definitely audit your time. I have heard that Ms. Datta actually was mentioning audit your time. So what she was mentioning that when you are doing some work, try to audit your time, like which work actually is taking how much time. So try to audit your time, and later you can adjust this. So, okay, so those are the time management strategies. Again, it doesn't work for everybody, but definitely work for, like, definitely you can try some of them and see what will work for you. Okay, so this is my last topic, is stress management. So after collaboration, communication, empathy, time, the last one is stress management. Okay. So we want to manage our stress so that we will be like happy and we can have a healthier and happier life, because our ultimate goal, yeah, our goal is to have a successful career, as I have started my talk. But actually, at the end of the day, our ultimate goal is to have a successful career as well as a good life. right? So stress management plays a big role to have a good life, overall good life. So let me show you the definition of stress. This is from a dictionary. Like psychological and physiological imbalance caused to demanding circumstances and the individual's ability to meet those needs. Here I'm showing you actually a graph. Okay, so it's called Yerkes-Dodson law. So here you can see like student performance when they have studied the student performance versus student anxiety level. They have seen actually that when the stress is with stress, like when students is performing best, when the stress is increasing. However, up to a certain point, okay, up to a certain point. After this point, you actually see like when the stress is too high, students' performance is going down. Student is with too much stress, students is burned down, meltdown. So from here we can say there is two types of actually stress. One is positive stress, which is good for us, which is healthy, whichever usefulness, and the negative stress, which is bad for us, which is distressful, and it will make you unhealthy. So this is the positive and negative stress. Next, when we start, let's discuss like what are the stressors or what are the possible things that give you the stress. Okay, so here I have taken you from one of the universities from Australia. They use it in their counseling center. So here we can see a metaphorical basket. Like, okay, so imagine a basket here. We can call it stress bucket. And you can see there are like mainly 4 types of stress a student can have. So the first one is kind of academic stress, which relates to like overbooked for work, then coursework, exam, grade, career concern. The second one is kind of intrapersonal stress, like health concern, mental health, financial situation. The third one is interpersonal stress because student life, college life, university life is kind of a new beginning of the career. So we are forming new relationships. So from these new relationships can come with stress. So relationship and then communication difficulty with your mentors, with your peers, with your lecturers. So those are kind of interpersonal stress. And the fourth stress is environmental stress, as our Datta said, Ms. Datta said, like homesickness, and then poor working condition. So those are the stressors. Those are the stress we can have in our life. And what is the consequence of having this stress? Your work life is completely imbalanced. So there are different sources of stressors, and these stressors can affect actually our body, our mind, our behavior, and our emotions. So these are the sign of stress, like how the stress can impact your these 4 things. Okay, so what should we do? We need to learn how to manage the stress. Okay, we need to develop some stress management strategy. So we need to break up with stress. So what is stress management? It is different types of intervention which are carried out to fight the stress. So we need to manage the stress, we need to fight the stress through stress management strategy. So what are the importance of stress management strategies in academia? We can increase the productivity at our work. We can focus more and make better decision. Why I'm saying make better decision? Because if your mind is calm and composed, you can focus more on your work and then you can take better decision. You can be productive And definitely you can be aware of your mental state. So self-awareness is one of the key things of stress management. Please remember the word self-awareness. So just try, just close your eyes, think like, how are you? So ask yourself, how are you today? Okay, so this is kind of the self-awareness. So be aware of yourself, then don't panic. Okay, and then definitely all of them can create a work-life balance. So again, coming back to your bucket. Now we have the stressors, which is in red color. And now we have the holes in your bucket, right? Imagine there are holes in your bucket. So these holes are actually letting your stress out. Okay, so these are the stress management strategies. So there are few stress management strategies. There are more actually. I have jotted down here just a few. And how Dr. Sharma said that building a support system when she was really stressed, she managed her stress by building her support system. Here actually, and there are take care of yourself, make a good plan, try to have a to-do list, try to prioritize your work, and then if definitely what Mr. Bachchan said, enjoy your accomplishment. Here actually, I just want to finish my talk for the day with one strategy, which is called stress journal, like writing stress journal. What that does mean, you should write the stress journal to let out your stress. Meaning, as I have said, writing actually can sharpening your thinking process. So when you have started writing, like what stressors you are having regularly and how to deal with them, you can actually find the solution by yourself. So write it down, like what are the stressors for me? What action I should take? To whom I should go with my problem? And definitely, what do you feel when the stressors first come? And after writing and after talking with someone who I believe, what do I feel after that? So if you start writing your stress journal, whenever you face the stress, actually it will kind of your therapy. You will feel good and you can manage your stress. Okay, so our key takeaways for our talk today, that soft skills complement hard skills but get little respect, and we need to be aware of their importance and consequences of shortcomings, and as it's every stages of our career we need that. Definitely, soft skills help us to shape our personality and to create the positive work environment, to create the positive relationship, and ultimately we can be happy and healthy at the end of the day. And then definitely we can improve our soft skills through student-centered classroom, as I have said, what we do here at UCLA. And then definitely you can take short courses, you can take more workshops, more training, like guided training on individual soft skills, and then regular practice it. Because ultimately from growth mindset and from the soft skills talk, I think one final message I want to give you, that practice, practice, and practice more. Okay. So in today's seminar, we talked about the soft skills are important in academia. However, again, if soft skills is the big iceberg, I have just covered the tip of this iceberg. So much left. And I want to acknowledge my mentors, my teachers at UCLA, and definitely my mentor in Los Angeles Community College District, Dr. Angela Echeverry, and then the team Bioingene, and definitely the the panelists for sharing their stories and making my path more easier. So this is the end of my talk, and thank you so much.
Oh, wow. It was so wonderful. And we could relate so much from your talk, and it was so beautifully said and presented. You took
Thank
time,
you.
you explained it so well. It was amazing. I mean, I don't know if I've heard such a beautiful webinar ever. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Shoma. Thank you for your nice words. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, you want to say something? Okay.
Yes. Before we are going to question answer round, it's actually I little bit survey. I put the question in the chat box that do you want more webinar like that? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. Why not? Why not? Why yes, definitely.
Okay.
So as you say that there is a lot of soft skill, and the biggest problem in our life to understand whether it is soft skill or not. Though
Yeah.
I realize that it needs training and practice. It's another session, but before understanding that these are the soft skill, it's I think very important for everybody. Those are the listening to your talk. And I also want to say the audience for the patience, because I intentionally not cut down the time, because it's the opportunity for all of us hearing the webinar. And I'm also thankful the speaker, because she is from a biology background, is a plant related background and microbiology related background, and doing such a tremendous work in the soft skill. I think it's also come on the growth mindsets. If you love it, if you passionate it, you go for it. You can flourish whatever your field of your interest. So it's very interesting to me also that someone working on the science, publishing paper, doing PhD, and ultimately teaching soft skills. And I am very happy. I enjoyed the webinar a lot. This webinar is a very interesting for me. Can I request you that you mentioned that you have only covered the five soft skills, and there is a lot of other soft skills. If possible, I'm not forcing you. If possible, then we can arrange another webinar on rest of the thing. At least I wanted to know the whole list, at least the whole list. And that time we are not going to the panel discussion. So it's a open for you, and you got a 2 hours. So today's you get little less time due to the panel discussion. But I realized the panel discussion relate to the audience. It's relate to the audience, because we first know the problem. Okay. And in our system, or I can say in my experience, that it is very important to learn the problem and understand the problem, then find a solve of it. Without knowing the problem, you can't solve it. So it's also happened to our molecular biology research. If we failed something, if we not identify the problem, we can't repeat the experience and not expecting the better result.
Exactly.
So it's my request, if you can thought about it, if it is possible, then I love to, and I love to very soon, because otherwise we forget the 5 skills.
Okay.
So it's before to going to the question answer round. And I request all the participants, you got 1 hour. It's the link will deactivate around the 1:30. So don't hurry. You take your time, because I put there is some questions like to know your feedback, because I believe in the feedback. So there is some feedback, and I shared this feedback with you after the completion and after the giving the certificate of all.
Yes.
So I request Soma, we collect the all questions, but we little bit change it, because there is lot of same questions, lot of same related field, that's different angle. So we modify these questions and make 4 to 5 questions. You just answer it. I am sure all it covers under this, and definitely we can think that is another talk is coming. More people are says yes. So let's see.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I just want to say one thing to the participants, to the audience, that when you're filling out the form, please be careful. Please take some time and fill out carefully, because if you write your email address wrong, it's done. I cannot send back any information to you. So please take some time and write the email address correctly, because I went through all 4,000 of the email address one by one to correct anything in there. Okay, so let's come back to the question that our participants have put, and we have compiled them. Dr. Ghoshal, my first question is that can I practice soft skills on my own, and if yes, how?
Okay. Definitely. That's first of all, that's a very good question. Who has written this question? He or she is actually showing the growth mindset already by writing this question. So definitely you can practice it by your own. But the one thing I want to say that if possible, take some guided training on that, so that you know, like, what are the strategies, like basic strategies. Should I stop sharing my screen?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So you can have those, if you have those training. Like I can give one example of mine. Like, before talking about stress management, even teaching, when we actually teach little bit of stress management in our course, in our collaboration course, because stress and collaboration comes in hand. But before doing that, I didn't get not I got training not only from US. I also did workshops in Canada.
Okay.
So I did, like, quite a few like good amount of workshops and guided training. I have the guided training, and then I started teaching. So one thing I can say to you that definitely try to take some training, some workshops, and also you should practice it by teaching this someone. So suppose you are trying to build your communication skills, try to practice your communication skills with someone, with your peers, with your mentors, like how I have what I have said. Like, ask your peers. Like, I want to give. Suppose choose a topic and make some presentation, or make some public speaking script, and just ask your peer, like, can I please give my presentation skills or my speaking, like, can I speak to you about this topic? So if you can practice in this way, like with your peers, with your colleagues, you can practice this. And definitely you can do another thing, you can teach another person. So because teaching is the most important thing, like the most valuable thing in this world. Like, if you teach, you gain more actually. So teach, practice with your peers, and try to take some training. So these are the three ways you can do.
All right. So the next question is that I ask, somebody has written, I ask for feedback about my work from my friends. Some provide very negative feedback, and I feel depressed and get confused about my work. Can soft skills help me in handling this situation?
Yeah, definitely. As I have said, that first of all, when you know the soft skills, you know the how to collaborate or how to accept the feedback. So as I have said, like when there is giving and accepting feedback process is going on, you need to think about trust. You need to think that whether there is a good relationship, like trustworthy relationship or not. So it doesn't mean, like sometimes when I uh, like make some presentation or I make some class notes, I actually bring my class notes or my presentation to like kind of to my one of my hard colleague, so that I know she or he is going to give me the hardest feedback, the most negative feedback. But another thing is the feedback is like whether she or he is just giving you the feedback or just showing you the areas of improvement or giving you some solutions. So if somebody is saying something negative to you, just don't be depressed at the very first moment. Try to think about the trust level. Try to think about the try to think about the whether he or she is giving you the solution or not. So just don't based on the negativity.
Right. So the next question is there any protocol to provide constructive feedback?
Yes, there is a protocol. Definitely there is a protocol to give you the constructive feedback, which I couldn't share with you today because there is three types of feedback. Giving constructive feedback, it's called warm, cool, and hard feedback. So both three of them are very positive feedback, constructive feedback, but there are a difference between the levels of the feedback. So yes, definitely there is a protocol of giving feedback. Yes.
All right. Okay. Next question. How can I maintain transparency in collaboration?
Okay, that's a very good question. I love it because transparency is one of the major things in collaboration. As I have discussed a little bit during my talk. So transparency, definitely you can have a shared drive or shared folder or shared document where you can actually write down or give your input so that everybody can see that. So transparency means everybody should know what's going on within the team. This is called transparency, right? So definitely you can share the material with your whole team.
All right, moving on. How will soft skills help me in my exams as an undergraduate student?
Okay, this is a big question. Like it's broad basically. So there are so many strategies that how soft skills can help you in the exam. So definitely you can have growth mindset to practice more. And if the strategy doesn't work for your first exam, you can change your strategy. You can change your study habit. Then definitely you can manage your time. And what I have shown to you, like definitely have this deadline, false deadline, so that you can have a false deadline and then you can have some revision time before your real exam. So there are like many strategies, but yeah.
All right. Yes, definitely. Time is limited, so definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
So the last question, one more question.
Okay.
Okay. I always plan my day and week.
Uh-huh.
However, when I try to implement it, I fail as I get interrupted by my colleagues. How can soft skills help me?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely it 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 happens. It happens. So it's a very regular scenario. So what we can do, like we can actually uh, talk about our working strategy with our colleague. Like from this time to this time, I am working, so I cannot talk to you. Definitely after finishing this work, I can talk to you. I have time for you, but not from this time to this time because I have a fixed time to work. And when I am working, I don't actually like any disruption. So in a polite way, you can say that. And definitely like this time to this time, I'm not available for taking any phones or something because I am with my family. So definitely you can, again, transparency plays a great role here. So if you are transparent with your team member, they will give you the space. That's for sure. But be transparent. Yeah.
Where to begin? Every part was amazing. I mean,
Thank you.
thank you for coming on our platform. It was amazing. I mean, we are not letting you
I'm,
go. We
I'm
have
very
to come
happy.
back. You have to come back.
Okay, I will try. I will try. Okay.
Right. Okay, let's get back to Shubho. Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Thank you once again. And I think in bioengine, we do something without knowing it, that it is a technique or is a part, like we collect the questions from a shared Google pages, because we collected the questions. Sometime I collect question and look into that okay, already Liberty collected, so I delete it. So it makes time saving for us, and
Oh yes.
also give us the confidence that okay, someone corrected, okay, so we don't miss anything actually. Sometimes it's very difficult to answer each and every questions, but we try to collect every questions, every suggestion, and every feedback, because we have to develop on basis of that. Today we collect so many suggestions, like webinar on soft skills. There's a lot of suggestion for the webinar soft skills. Lots of people asking for the how to manage lab mates, how to manage the authorship, how to write a good manuscript. So it also build us to what is the necessity, what is the necessity. And if it is if we find that okay, some peoples are asking for it, then we can develop it in bioengine. And this is a beauty that we collaboratively work here. So it gives us some freedom to what we want to do.
Actually, you are actually in the team bioengine is a perfect example of collaboration capability. So like giving like taking the feedback from the audience. So this is like you guys are actually implying every strategy of collaboration. So that's why probably now this is like growing so much. Yeah.
So thank you for coming to us.
Thank
And
you.
I should thanks to all the panelists, because
Yeah.
it's a very odd and different time in your country, like from the Canada, from America. It's a very difficult to attend this time, but as I said before, that we got the response from the so many Asian countries, African countries. So that's why this time zone is like that. But we try, in future we also try to move the time zone little bit to benefit all viewers in a comfortable time zone. So it's very thankful to you
Thank you
for
for
giving the.
inviting me. Thank you so
It's my
much.
pleasure. If I don't invite you, then we all miss a good lecture and good concept on soft skill, which basically for our education system is very necessity. And I also feel that practice and training also be a part of it. But but first we should know the skills, because it's very important to knowing that, okay, it's a skill and it's
to have a
attainable.
yeah, to have a basic concept.
Yes, yes.
Right. Yeah.
So now Soma gives some instruction to our audience. So it's now Soma, and I thanks to everyone for the panelist and for you. So
Thank you.
you can stay,
Thank
or if it is
Okay.
you can take rest.
Okay. Thank you. So probably today I'm leaving.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thanks to my audience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye. Shoma, please give some instruction like upcoming webinars on this platform, because we have already started the registration process for the October, and we are looking for the talks for the November and December. So I request the audience, though most of the busy for the filling the feedback or left, if you have a posters, you can drop it on Bioingene. We just collect the pre-published posters. It's not a competition, it's just the deposition to global view. We also request you to, if you want to write a blog, you can mail us. If you wanted to give a talk, you can contact us. If it is your profile is suitable for Bioingene, because we are plant biologists and plant related research, we looking for it. So we can communicate with you and we can arrange a talk later, like December and January. Thank you for participating this webinar, and I'm hope, let's see in future if the Dr. Kankana Ghoshal is ready and available, then we should do the soft skill in once again. So I request, yes, unlike part 2. So I request Shoma to share her screen and give some instruction. And link is working fine. We got around 1500 feedback. Link is working fine, and it's will be active for 20 minutes. It's, I think 1:30, the link will deactivate. Thank you.
All right. I hope you can see the screen. Is the screen visible? All right. So you can see the password here on the screen. First of all, I would like to thank all the attendees for being so patient and understanding that this is a very important webinar. It's not only bound to plant science, but for everybody, even at every level of their academic career. If it's school student, graduate, postgraduate, masters, and PhDs, and postdocs. For everybody, it is important. So we did not hurry it go, or it took time. You can, if you missed some parts, you can watch it on YouTube. It will be available, so you can watch it at your convenience. And coming to the screen, you can see the password, and you can see that our next webinar is on 12th September, 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time. The webinar is on CRISPR in agriculture, context of improving WUE. Okay, so the speaker, as you can see, the speaker is Dr. Anindya Bandhopadhyay. He is the Vice President and R&D Synthetic Biological Fuel Genome Editing Unit at Reliance Industries Limited from India. We are very excited for this webinar, and I hope you all join for this webinar. Okay, the registrations are open. You can register. Moving on to the next webinar. The next webinar is on 8th October. So it's in October, 8th October, and please note the time. This webinar is on the topic harnessing transcriptome resources of non-crop models for improving stress resilience in rice. So the speaker is Dr. Niranjan Baishak. He is the associate professor from Louisiana State University, LSU Agricultural Center from USA. Since the time zone is a lot different, so we have to we schedule the webinar in the evening for India. So it's daytime there and evening time here. So please note the time, because you may mistake, because our webinars in India are at 11, 10, 11 in the morning, but this one is in the evening, 6:30 p.m. Note it in your mobile. Okay. So next slide. Okay, so another webinar is on 13th October. I mean, the next webinar in October webinars, I'm talking about them. 13th October, we have a webinar on the topic miRNA regulation of response to salt stress in plants. This webinar is going to be held on 13th October at 11 a.m. by Dr. Neeti Sanan Mishra. She is the group leader at the International Center of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, ICGEB, New Delhi, India. Okay, so this is on 13th October. Then on 19th October, we have another webinar. This is on molecular and physiological mechanisms of drought tolerance in rice, a tale of backbencher gene. This webinar is at 11 a.m., the usual time of our webinars. This is going to be, the speaker is Dr. Dhananjay Gotarkar. He is the consultant scientist at the International Rice Research Institute, that is Erie, Philippines. So this is on the 19th October. And for all of you, many of you know, but if you don't know, so we are active on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So you can connect with us in any of these platforms. You can watch our webinar videos on YouTube. And we are very happy if you would connect with us. And thank you all. It was a wonderful, wonderful webinar. It was a gala event, I can say. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to our next webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shoma. It's now officially end of the webinar. This whole webinar is now available on our YouTube channel. It's a recording broadcast. So on basis of that, we can't give you a certificate. The link of certificate is working fine. Sometimes many people try at a time, or your internet speed, sometimes it's not working so fine or so smoothly. But the link is active. We got around 1,500 feedbacks in 30 minutes maybe, or 40 minutes, because the link will be deactivated on 11:30 a.m. in Indian Standard Time. I'm going to end this webinar. I'm looking forward to our next webinar. I request all of you come and join the Bioingene webinar. It's free and it's open to all. Anyone interested can join our webinar. Please subscribe our YouTube channel. It prompt you or it message you that we are live if we missed your email address. Sometimes it's due to the wrong email address or some technical reason, it's not delivered or to your inbox at the right time. So thank you once again. Thanks all the speakers. Thanks Bioingene team. Thanks to the panelists. Thanks audience. It's a great event. And yes, I know, and I already told you at the beginning, it will take time, because when I know that there is a lot of things, but I want to know and learn something from the webinar. I think you all guys are enjoy it. certificate link will be deactivated within 10 minutes. So you have a time for 10 minutes to go and give your feedback. There are some questions too, which will give me to analyze the performance of Bioingene and what is the necessity of soft cell in future webinar. Thank you. I'm going to end this session.